6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams, Michael Kerr, and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team on M1047 as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday on M104.7 FM. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The ground report. The ground report.
I would think that they've been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Warrell Regis and Company Limited. Services offer new tires and battery sale, motor vehicle inspection, mechanical repairs, fleet maintenance, tire alignment, wheel balancing and rotation, nitrogen installation, auto body repairs. Authorized agent for all major insurance, windshield replacement, wrecking service, parts and accessories. SMR Enterprise Shogunas. Telephone 665-3377 or email warrellregis@yahoo.com. Open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Warrell Regis and Company Limited.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the Castle is more than just nice food. Is we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
M104.7. Say it loud.
1990, Sharp Rock jumps upon the scene with a lean and a pocket full of green.
Say it loud. Home of the hits. M104.7.
A spirit vanish in the air. Tell me where she goes. I want to know where she goes.
Iconic Radio 104.7.
Come to Sheltec for your everyday gaming needs. Get your eShop, PSN, Roblox, and Steam cards. Also get the latest PS5, PS4, Xbox, and Switch games. We have everyday specials, 2 for $500 on games for everyone. Shop online at sheltechelectronics.com and get even more discounts. Visit us at 11 to 13 Frederick Street, Capital Plaza, Port of Spain. Come to Sheltec for your everyday gaming needs.
This is the thing, KFC Munch Pack, a good vibes we bring. Munch Pack, you need a snack. I suggest KFC Munch Pack. Treat yourself with a Munch Pack. Munch nights when you're hungry. Come and get a great deal from KFC. One piece and fries, $19.95.
Munch nice with a KFC Munch Pack with one piece and fries for only $19.95.
Munch Pack. Munch nights when you're hungry. Munch Pack from KFC.
There's a new drink that's transforming what you expect from a beverage. U-Juice is 100% natural and has the power of red ginseng, turmeric, ginger, and the world's strongest antioxidant, astaxanthin. Your new favorite drink has arrived. U-Juice, en route to the ultimate you.
U-Juice. You-Juice. I'm on my drink bigger than a natural boost.
It's a face-off. A face-off between some of the best old school DJs of this era. On Saturday, 1st October, York Incorporated hosts the Clash of the Titans. At the Garden Sanctuary Center of Excellence from 10 p.m. Featuring Sensational Sammy, Kabuki, Dr. Ross, and the Hitman Howie G.
Superstar DJs. Here we go!
Patrons will be entertained with hit after hit after hit from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Free cocktails served before midnight. Advance tickets are $200. Available at Cache, Diamonds by Sarah, Bobby's Bar Curep, Crosby's, Mart's Liquor Palace, Sensational Sammy Seafoods, plus online at suntix.com or call 776-1032. Clash of the Titans. Clash of the Titans. October 1st, Garden Sanctuary.
And 104.7 FM, the official station of Clash of the Titans.
Why is there still so much period stigma? Why have we been taught that our feelings are related with PMS? Why do people still believe that periods hold us back? I won't hide who I am. My body is strong, but it can also be vulnerable. I am everything the woman who came before me dreamed of. I don't accept period stigma. I am a new cycle.
Period or not, she can. With You by Kotex, you can choose from a variety of pads, liners, and tampons, so nothing can hold you back. Available nationwide.
Home is where you can foster new memories, where you can rejuvenate. Home is where love is, a peace of mind. Home is a house with a land to expand. Home is at the serene Wakano Park or the gated sanctuary of Ella Vista Gardens. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, indoor laundry, and private parking. Starting at $1.275 million, Home is DG Homes, Sangre Grande, 691-5659, 721-9186 or 379-8999. DG Homes, modern and luxurious living for all.
Shiny and Ari, restaurant number 67, Western Main Road, St. James, opposite Standard. For breakfast daily, Monday to Sunday, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. On the menu, sada roti, Friday, roast beef, pie, coffee, tea, Milo, vegetable pizza, pancakes with assorted vegetables. Lunch specials daily from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Chicken pilau, $25. Assorted lunch from $25 to $40. Soup specials and crab and dumpling. Delivery of food available. Dinner a la carte on the pavement from 6 p.m. until burgers, chicken sandwich, hot dogs, fries and chicken, nuggets, shrimp burger, gyros, and anything else you can think about. Call 382-9347 to place your orders 7 days a week.
Central. It's a big people line this Saturday, 1st October. It's Parang time at the new and refurbished Hangout Sports Bar, Main Road, Chase Village in Chaguanas. The action starts from 6 p.m. as we feature the big band, G-Sharp and Friends. So all you traditional and soca parang lovers, the place to be this Saturday, 1st October from 6 p.m. is at the happening spot in Central, the Hangout Sports Bar, Main Road, Chase Village in Chaguanas. So come on down and have a fun time, cause it's all free. You can't see it. It's electric. Central, it's a big people line this Saturday, 1st October. It's Parang time at the new and refurbished Hangout Sports Bar, Main Road, Chase Village in Chaguanas. Be there.
Restyles Funeral Home Company Limited. Services include cremation, burial, embalming, human remains repatriation, tents, and grave markers. At Restyles Funeral Home, you can stay in the comfort of your own home and be assured that all your funeral needs are met, from the time your loved one passes on to the day of burial or cremation, which simply means we do registration, acquire death certificates, and much more. We are on call 24 hours, 350-3626 or 218-5104.
Hyde and more 104.7 FM presents Libra's Night. Libra's Night, Color of Love, on Saturday, 8th October at the Police Messenger with your DJs, Dr. Ross, Beats by Robin, Kevin Baker, Shot Master J, Joe Grind, DJ Warrell, Rise International, and the boss of old school, Dr. High. Saturday, 8th October, the Police Mess St. James comes alive. Advance tickets $100. At the door, you pay more. Get your advance tickets now at ticket outlets: Bobby's Bar Curel, La Luna Bar Aruka, Fouts Barbershop Mover, Shell Tech Electrical, Capital Plaza, the Police Mess St. James, Sama Crew, San Juan, Hunty's Fast Food, Mova Lamantil, and Barataria. Saturday, 8th October, we're heading to the Police Mess for Colors of Love. For Color of Love. All other zodiac signs, come celebrate with the lovers.
Fast wine, fast wine, fast wine. Fast wine, fast wine, fast wine.
Color of Love.
M104.7. Say it loud. 1990, Chubb Rock jumps upon the scene with the lean and a pocket full of green. Say it loud. Home of the hits. And 104.7.
A spirit vanished in the air. Yeah. Tell me where she goes. I want to know where did she go.
Iconic Radio 104.7. And 104.7. Say it loud. Say it loud. And 104.7.
Oh, what a night. Late December back in 63. As I remember what a night.
Home of the hits.
See it. It's electric. You gotta feel it. It's electric.
And 104.7.
Ya no te se la pareció, la María y el Señor Santo, y a la medianoche se le pareció.
Iconic Radio 104.7.
More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrochin.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
I would think that they've been very clear that all the employees of Petrochin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams, Michael Kerr, and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team on M104.7 as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday on M104.7 FM. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
In his 2023 post-budget contribution, Energy Minister Stuart Young said when the UNC was in power, the only upstream contract it negotiated was not going to result in any revenue for this country until 2024. The natural gas company relies on the production of gas from upstreamers such as BP and Shell, which it would purchase to sell to downstreamers. He is revealing that a lack of new contracts during the People's Partnership tenure placed the NGC in a precarious situation, where claims began coming in from August 3, 2015, all the way up to 2019, because of the gas shortage between 2010 and 2015.
So when we came in, we faced US $1.329 billion in claims against the NGC, which is 9.3 billion TT dollars. Couple that against, compare that to what was happening to the NGC between 2010 and 2015 with what can be described as looting of the NGC treasury of $14 billion.
According to Young, the PNM government has managed to settle all claims except one that it is still working on for $130 million US. He states that government had to renegotiate the upstream contract done under the UNC because of unfavorable terms for this country, which he states led to a historic loss for the NGC in 2018. Minister Young says, in a bid to deal with the issues, including a fall in gas production, NGC has managed to execute 28 gas supply contracts, term sheets, and amendments between 2017 and 2022. As for questions raised by the UNC concerning the gas supply contract the government and NGC executed with BP a week ago, the minister says this would benefit the country in the future. Young is labeling the opposition's comments as misleading, skepticism, and dog whistling.
Because you see, good news is not good news for those on the other side, but it's good news for the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
As for the trips abroad, he is reporting revenue generation from 2017 to June 2022.
As a direct result of those interventions, discussions, and difficult negotiations, but respectful negotiations, conducted by us, the government, the people of Trinidad and Tobago got the benefit of $7.8 billion compared to zero.
In the first half of 2022, NGC generated $2.9 billion in profit before tax, of which $1.3 billion in tax went to the state. The minister says oil and gas are depleting resources, and it is important to utilize these resources to the fullest.
Trinidad and Tobago is the only country in the world that has existing available capacity to make LNG and fertilizer.
He says these are critical to food security and energy security, and he is giving an assurance that the government knows what it is doing. Young is also promising that NGC's Atlantic LNG Train 1 investment is not wasted.
Very shortly, we will be able to come to the population and say, after a proper audit, NGC was called at the time and made an overpayment. So that's an immediate clawback.
Apart from that, Young says TNT is the only country in the world that is renegotiating the ownership structure of LNG trains. Alicia Boucher, TV6 News.
But here's the funny thing about it. Once again, he say one thing because you're on a high horse. So then why didn't tell employers, well, here we're going on, boy, this work from home thing, if it could work for you, let people work from home, then people go drive less.
Well, bro, he was asked that.
Mm-hmm.
I know if you see the meme going around.
No way.
Well, I mean, it's a meme, but it's not really meant, it isn't that funny, but it encapsulates exactly how he thinks and how he operates, right? He was just chastising people for driving for no good reason. Then asked, okay, what about a work from home policy? Now I can't do it. Trinidad, no, we have no discipline for that.
Requires certain technical infrastructure and a certain level of discipline. This is Trinidad and Tobago. So we're not ready for a major work from home policy because some people are even working in the office.
You know, discipline for that. I mean, if private sector companies want to do that, but the public sector, that's not something we envision in right now.
So, this is the point I was going to make, just now that I was thinking about it. People just get vexed when I say, horse, I ready to ship out of this country, right?
Right, yeah.
Unpatriotic, they say that, blah, 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 right? But based on the words of our Prime Minister, this place is a crazy place. We have elders, we have older people who just jump on a boat and go from one island to the next for no good reason.
For no good reason, yeah.
We have people who just jump on sit down in traffic from Sangre Grande
to Port of Spain.
To Port of Spain for no good reason.
For no good reason. They could have leave at 11 o'clock in the day, but they choose to leave at 8 o'clock.
Because they don't need to rejoin there for anything in particular. They just want to sit down in traffic.
Yeah. Because they have a car that they want to drive.
I don't know anybody, and listen, I'm saying I don't know, there's probably people out there.
Yeah.
But I don't know nobody who likes to drive in traffic. Who traffic doesn't frustrate. I don't know anybody like that.
I know. We're talking to a man who's do anything to block traffic. So
right?
I can't even envision somebody like that.
Right? So when you listen to the Prime Minister speak, you have no choice but to believe is a bunch of crazy people running around in this Twin Island Republic. So the people, the workers, the government, they don't have discipline. So you have a set of undisciplined people working for you.
So he said that some of them don't even work in the office.
Right.
So we gonna let them work from home.
Right.
Yeah.
So once again. Who problem? You have to deal with people under you. Right? Then this is the same man who bought do lime. Going to lime, all this. Just get murdered. People end up dead.
Yeah. So all kind of jackasses just come out of this man.
When this man speaks, that doesn't encourage me.
Yeah.
He being the leader. He being the man at the helm. It doesn't encourage me to say, hey, this is a wonderful place. I want to stay here.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to you, Lennox Smith.
Well, from to you, of course, good morning to all and sundry, east, west, north, south, central in Trinidad, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are streaming on the World Wide Web, a pleasant good day to you. Yes, this is, of course, the Ground Report. Andy will be joining us a little later, but nonetheless, the show has to go on. And of course, I just want to hear from you, Cuff, if there's any things that you would want to mention at this point in time, inclusive of those who are already very actively active on the live chat, chatting away, and at the same time utilizing the facilitation of social media. I think it's a wonderful thing. Last night I had the opportunity, or I took the opportunity on the corridor transformation to express the what I consider to be the democratization that social media would have brought to the ordinary person so that they could participate. But more importantly, and as we have seen with this administration, Dr. Rowley in particular is very strident against, of course, the use of social media as a medium of information. Not that he is once again out of touch with the realities of the world in this particular case, but what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago, because many of the information that form or find its way into the news packages of traditional media, whether it's newspapers, whether it's radio stations, whether of course is the television, where the government would have commandeered by the utilization of our money to, of course, give one-sided view of a particular topic. Social media has been able to not only neutralize that, but has been the source of some of the information as well that find its way in these traditional fora, let me put it that way. But that being as it may, eat your heart out, government, because they want to, as much as possible, dictate the way that material or information is disseminated, and always have their view be dominant when in fact there are other views, and frankly too much not to be concerned of government position. There is considered to be in some quarters diatribe, in other quarters outright misinformation, and in other quarters unadulterated lies. And we are the ones talking about the social media platform that has been able, of course, to bridge or to fill that gap. So thank God, in other words, I'm saying, for social media. I know I see people already there on Real Media TT, and of course every night on the Corridor Transformation. That being as it may, I just wanted to find out from you, and then of course you'll give some of the issues that are live, and if not, I will do my part, and then we'll open up the lines as quickly as possible so that we give callers an opportunity to, of course, express themselves and their concern. I mean, the budget being, of course, the most fundamental at this point in time. Anything from your end of the woods, Cuff?
Yeah, I have some stuff at my end right here.
Okay.
I want to say good morning to also Annie Williams of People Radio, Mikey K. Good morning to those guys. Also, good morning to the viewers on Real Media TT on YouTube and Facebook. Ronnie MC, Mina Steiner, Troy Smith, also Anne-Marie Reyes, Nadira, Zaber and Gani, Savita. Good morning to you. Boot Mati, Camilla P, Steve Noel, Mira Princesstown, Darrow Nutscake. Also, good morning to Premraj Bajnan, Ramchan Kaya, Marilyn Cicharan. Also, we have Budram John, Alicia Ghani, Marilyn Cicharan, Shirley Ramcharan, Hafiza D. Muhammad, Rui Sami, Matilda Rhodes, Kariman as well, Donna Gawkin, Sharon Beakey, also Anne-Marie Ahmed. Good morning to you guys. Also,
well, sorry, go ahead. I thought you.
We have police kill 4 bandits in Mayaro.
Yeah, boy. Bandits having a tough month or so, or last 2 months. Go ahead, 4.
Yeah, I have a video here, so I'll play it.
Yeah, okay. Well, so you want
2 weeks after police shot and killed 4 bandits following the deadly Pennywise Laramine heist, police officers killed 4 more bandits along Beaumont Road in Mayaro on Monday. I'm standing outside the Krista Park development in Mayaro, where just after 9 a.m. today, police officers confronted and shot dead 4 bandits who had minutes earlier carried out a home invasion on a family of 3 within this residential community. According to reports, a group of gun-toting men entered the family's home and using duct tape tied up the 3 people there at the time, a businessman, his wife, and their son. Speaking to TV6, Acting Police Commissioner MacDonald Jacobs says a patrol team in that area received the report of a home invasion and quickly responded.
And on reaching the premises, they were greeted with gunfire. The officers returned fire, and it resulted in 4 of the men, after the police had secured and surrounded the premises. 4 of the men are now deceased.
He says 4 pistols which belonged to the bandits were retrieved at the scene. It is believed that at least 3 other bandits accompanied the 4 deceased, but they were able to escape. Commissioner Jacobs says search efforts were immediately mounted for the other men involved in the attack. However, up to news time, they remained at large, and the identities of the 4 who were shot dead had not yet been released. Monday morning's incident makes it the 2nd time in 2 weeks that officers responding to a robbery shot and killed 4 bandits. Commissioner Jacobs says while the TTPS gets no pleasure in using deadly force, these incidents send a clear message.
And we send out the message that the police service is quite equipped. The officers are professionally trained. to deal with any eventuality. A firearm in your hand will make you feel that you are in a position that you can handle any situation. It gives you a false sense of power and security. Please put down the gun.
Cindy Raghubantika Singh, TV6 News.
Yeah, well, of course, one has to, of course, await the investigation. I am always paused to, of course, make a conclusive statement on such incident, except to say that once people find themselves in that situation, then the would-be and or those who are currently engaged, I think they must pinch themselves and understand that it is just one day for the police or the investigators. And whilst you may have been successful on previous jaunts and or events, one day the police will always catch up with you. So I join the acting commissioner in cautioning those who may be so engaged or have the intention so to be. But at the same time, we cannot afford to have a trigger-happy police force either. And therefore, as a member of Amnesty International, it would be remiss of me if I don't caution that investigations must take place to see whether or not there was unnecessary force being used, or a different outcome, saving lives, could have occurred, having regard to the juggernaut position. And the police is correct, the commissioner is correct, a juggernaut position of the police, and that is to say they have the force, they have the numbers, they have the focus, they have the training, they have the experience, and all that resource converted into money and or training and professionalism. One would not expect that you have a trigger-happy team of individuals out there simply because a person has a firearm in their possession doesn't mean that brute force, or should I say undue force, could not take place in such circumstance. I'm just cautioning. So that's why I prefer to get the investigation to be as objective as possible in such a scenario. So that being as may, any other issue that you want to raise and or associated with a video or any audio that you may have accrued overnight, let me put it that way.
Yeah,
Gough?
I do.
Yes. Right. So we await. Are you ready there, or you're preparing?
Okay,
Or is
it says here,
okay.
it says here, the MP for San Fernando East is wrong about fuel subsidies.
Permit me to correct the member of San Fernando East who said last week that the fuel subsidy was about poverty reduction, as the Express newspaper editorial pointed out today. And I quote, contrary, and Madam Speaker, I'm reading an extract of today's Express editorial, as I quote, contrary to the view of Junior Finance Minister Brian Manning, the fuel subsidy was not introduced as a poverty alleviation measure, but as a cushion for all against a record level of 23% inflation. And I continue with the quote, having come into the unexpected good fortune of an oil windfall in the last months of 1973, the Williams administration moved to blunt the punishing impact of inflation by redistributing some of the windfall to the entire population through a package of subsidies in the 1974 budget. And Madam Speaker, I will just go with just one paragraph. At $973.9 million, it was the largest budget ever in the country's history, with subsidies for flour and other food items, gas and public transport, among other things. The truth the truth and not a distorted, self-serving version of history is a far more productive basis for an honest conversation about the economy and sharing of national patrimony. Close quote, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm hearing the Minister of Finance. I mean, Eric Williams must be rolling in his grave today. In fact, Madam Speaker, I dare say that the member for San Fernando East has the unique ability to cause, or the distinction to cause, two previous prime ministers of this country to roll in their graves.
And there you go.
Well, I mean, it is ludicrous. It is laughable. I mean, it's a continuation or an extension of the elasticity of the dotishness that parades in our parliament, both houses, on the government side in particular, who have the responsibility of managing the affairs of the country, to be unfortunate to have a crop of individuals managing our affairs at this crucial time in our political, economic, socio psychological history. Because if Manning was a historian, he would have been labeled as a revisionist, totally denying what the reality is. And the reality is, or in some instances, as a politician, he will now be considered to be a person who is very distant and or aloft of what the reality is. And the reality is, as far as subsidies are concerned, subsidies are put on to equalize or to create a level playing field, particularly for the poor. He is saying that they take off subsidies in order to generate the very impact of poverty. I just do not understand where these fellas get their schooling from. Frankly, I mean, it pains me to know that they know better than that, and they ought to come out from institutions. But it appears that there's a nexus, just as increase exponentially of murders when the PNM is in government. There is another phenomenon that we have to also explore, whether or not people who attach themselves to the PNM, at whatever level, particularly at the decision-making level in the country, when they would have gotten into government, even though in such circumstance it is questionable. But the fact of the matter is that they are in charge, and then they metamorphosize or they mutate into some kind of nincompoop. That's all I can say, because I don't understand why would you come up with the idea of coal pot and bicycle, and then you have, of course, Manning talking about you remove subsidy in order to make people less poor. I just don't understand it, when the reality is that in this particular case to which he refers, is that every single thing raises. I want to know if people who are in poverty and to whom he refers would have had real money in order to satisfy their basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, do you want to remind them?
Of numbers? What?
The coal pot approach.
Oh yeah. Oh, in case people don't know, well, the coal pot one, of course, was Scotland, who is the sitting member of Parliament for Port-au-Prince South, and he talked about he has a coal pot and that he will go back to bicycle. In fact, he's supposed to be, before he came in, was supposed to be a reputable lawyer, and he'll write to court.
Lennox, I have a video to explain for you.
Huh? Oh, you have that? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking me to explain. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. You did a good job explaining, though.
Thank you.
In the House of Representatives on Saturday, Port of Spain South MP Keith Scotland said the government had to make the tough decision to lower the fuel subsidy. He stated that the one-off transportation grant of $1,000 to recipients of social grants is just one of the factors which contribute to ensuring that the most vulnerable in the population are taken care of. He also made note of the distribution of food hampers.
I heard somebody say, well, they got the fresh food hampers, but they couldn't cook. Well, what we say, make some salad with the tomatoes and the cucumbers. Madam Speaker, I still have a coal pot, you know, where I put my coals and I roast my breadfruit. So if you don't have that, go back until such time as you can afford the gas.
UNC Senator Wade Mark says the government has spent around $400 billion in 7 years. And this is what he has to say about Scotland's coal pot suggestion.
Hear what we get from the PNM. Back to coal pot. That is where they want to take us. My brothers and sisters, this is absolutely unacceptable, and we must reject this approach. We are for going forward ever and backward never.
Mark is citing the Paris Agreement, which is aimed at strengthening the response to climate change, saying the burning of coals also contributes to global warming. Scotland also mentioned that suggestions such as carpooling or leaving home earlier to avoid traffic and more fuel consumption are only possible solutions to the higher fuel prices.
I have a suggestion for me. In order to lose weight, I will ride to court. I will take a bike. That will save fuel. That's my solution. I guess the answer to tell people I will knock you down on the foreshore.
Mark says the quality of life of many citizens in this country continues to diminish, and he's questioning what's next.
With impending increases in both electricity and water, you can't afford water to flush the toilet, go back to outdoor toilets, build a latrine. You can't afford electricity because it's too high, go back to flambeau. That is what we expect to hear.
Alicia Boucher, TV6 News.
And there you have it.
Yeah, and you understand the ridiculousness of this this suggestion as a solution. And as I was making the point before the video confirmed what I was saying, is that you want to know whether or not these fellas who would have gone to university, obviously, and then as soon as they reach into the PNM, they become buffoons.
Yeah.
They become they make a mockery of not only the alma mater, tertiary speaking, but the whole question of common sense and the application of solutions by people, and that is what they have been voted into office for. That is what taxpayers are paying them for, to bring solutions. In fact, I saw what I consider to be a poltroon, meaning that a kind of comic caricature in one of the social media platforms, where they had, and he looked for it, where we had Scotland riding a bicycle, yes, but a bicycle with two rectangular wheels. Imagine that. That's to show you how people it's contemptuous of the kind of nonsense that they speak. Imagine you have a rectangular wheel, two rectangular wheel, and you ride it. You know.
Yeah, that's something straight out of a cartoon show or something.
Yeah, cartoon. Yeah. Where you have rectangular wheels, so that could go nowhere. In other words, telling them fellas don't even know. They're so Neanderthalic. They're so caveman oriented, that they don't know that the circular wheel was invented, and one of the greatest inventions to facilitate, of course, the modern industrialization and take human beings into the contemporary industrial age or age that we are in today. I mean, it is. If it wasn't so serious, one will say that it is absolutely amusing, and that these fellas should be lining up to audition with Larry Joseph. I can't say Tommy Joseph now, understand that he's under the weather, but certainly Larry Joseph. And then make some appointment to get some kind of audience to pursue their stupidity, but leave Trinidad and Tobago out of it, because they are simply not prepared to treat with the issues of Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time. We're talking about, so all right, assuming that the wheels of the bike, let's say are circular, they found out that they could use a circle, and therefore it will ride much more smoothly, more conveniently, and so on. When he has to take his let's say his legal books to court, what he's going to tell the population, that he's going to put it in the trunk of the bicycle? That is what he's saying. I mean, it is ridiculous. Yeah, you have to go that way. And if he has to carry children to school, is he saying that he's going to add the 2 or 3 seats to the bicycle in order to take them to school? Is what he's telling young people and people who are looking for guidance and so on? Is that the kind of leadership we want in this country? I mean, and we have to get serious. And I think the Ground Report and you and Mikey and myself and so on have to take the bull by the horn and lead the country into a place where we can be a little more logical, because common sense is not as common as one would think in the PNM. And so long as you join the PNM, you seem to, as I say, migrate, metamorphosize into some kind of intellectual buffoon that has no reality with the reality and the presence of Trinidad and Tobago, living up to the
delusion.
To the of life.
Delusional.
Yeah, a standard of living that one expects as the third richest domain in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, it is just crazy. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, they're delusional.
Yeah, total and absolute. And let's say the Cole Pot. I challenge him to come on the steps of the Hall of Justice and present the Cole Pot that he says he has. Because I can tell you, if his recommendation are Cole Pots, I can tell you could hardly find a Cole Pot to buy right now. Hardly, because nobody makes that again. And if you do, it's better you go buy a tank of gas, because one may cost a price that is prohibitive. So best you go there, because why I must do that and then have to go look for coals in order to bubble up a pot? I mean, it's just ridiculous. They simply don't think, and pursuing that and spewing that in the public domain recklessly, ruthlessly, and without, as I say, a consideration for the impact it will have on ordinary people, far less for those who have some intellectual prowess or consideration. They must see them as fools, a collective thereof, assembled by one man, Rowley. Let's continue. We have anything else we want to talk about?
No, well, I'm seeing here, True Makaku, residents in fear of landslip. I'm not sure if that is
Chumakak. It's Chumakak, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Chumakak. Yeah, that is a Spanish term for red monkey. Chumakak. Yeah, there is a place just off Passage Street. And I see that there was a decomposed body on Passage Street extension. I think that is closer to the, if memory serves me right, closer to the priority, between the priority bus route and the Eastern Main Road. I think there's some bushes there. A decomposing body was discovered. So the murder continues to escalate under a PNM administration. So PNM is now being famous for two things. What? A sort of emptying the brain of members that function at the highest level in the party and consequently government, and then of course whenever they are in office, the murder rate continues to expeditiously explode.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, you cannot just bring on a change with the coal pot, you know.
I mean, it's just simply ridiculous. And I know that people are wearing, of course, to speak about it, but we have to lay the foundation, and we have done so. Of course, the appropriacy of the response of the leader of the opposition, I think, speaks a volume. It demonstrates intelligence. It demonstrates someone who is down to earth. It demonstrates the reality of Trinidad and Tobago, and that is not because you are in opposition, but because you are a patriot, you are a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, and you're going to talk things that make sense, and not be a minister, and then you are huddled into a cabinet of ministers where you engage in activities that are totally inimical to the interests of the people. They have weaponized government against the people. They have, of course, generated a kind of cesspool of corruption based on only one factor I am factoring here. There are many others, but the whole question of recusement, 260-something times as the case may be, and climbing. Dr. Rowley himself so far has been alleged to have recused himself 8 times, and when you look at it, is in circumstances where friends, family, acquaintances connected to the government in terms of the ministers, and connected to the party in terms of the party in government. And then when you look in amazement and astonishment and most bizarre, you have what I consider to be a gangster headquarters being constructed in Balize House. And let me tell you this, it's not just, I am not talking about gangsterism in the generic sense, you know. I am talking with a high degree of specificity, because here it is, in constructing Balize House as they have now, some people put it at some $50 million, a party that, according to Rowley, couldn't pay its $4 million debt when he came into control of the party in 2015. But besides that, they have actually taken part of the Tranquility Government School. You know, the Tranquility Government School is in boundary with the southern boundary with Balize House. Well, what they have done is commandeered part of and deprived, therefore, the children of the Tranquility Government Secondary School by sending back their boundary into the facility of that educational facility. Understand that. And more than that, where Despers is now to be removed from on Tragarit Road, when they were digging out the basement, the earth from the basement, instead of sending it or crying it to maybe to the Labas or to backfill some area that may be in need of it, what they did, a large portion of it ended up on the very premises that was formerly the National Printery on Tragarit Road, next to the Indian Embassy or High Commission, and they dumped the material there. So I am wondering now, when they get out of office, or when the authorities ready to use that facility after Despers move out for obvious reason, whether the PNM as a party will pay to remove those material that they would have put there, whose cost it will be, because some government institution will go there, but who will bear the cost of that excavation now, having dumped PNM Balize House excavated material to dig out their car park for the monstrosity that they have being constructed there for over $50 million, some put it as. What is happening here? It can only be a gangster operation. It can only be a mafia operation. It can only be a cesspool of corruption that has found itself in the management and the administration of Trinidad and Tobago today. We are in terrible times, and the population must understand that Dr. Rowley's insistence of trying to deflect attention away from social media and and Ground Report and people like us and others who, of course, are engaged, like Anil Roberts and so on, is merely to try to hide in a situation where the instantaneousness of information is so overwhelming and is so crucial to modern and contemporary living that is almost impossible. But he will try his best to go back to the Neanderthal age, I'm talking about caveman age, as we saw when he decided to take away the laptops from successive generations of students. And today we would have been sitting well and nice instead of complaining that our children were not able to pass. 50% of them were not. No, sorry, let me give a number. 12,000 of 19,000 students in the C exam were not able to pass half the marks in the C exam, and worse than that, of that 12,000, 7,000 couldn't even make 33% of the marks. And the government is oblivious to the fact that it's they who cause it, and the parents and the society must put all the blame on them, and they cannot escape that reality. We must understand, and if you don't want to, well, and you believe that it is too aggressive, or it is too toxic, or it is too acrid, or too acidic, then use another word. But the fact of the matter is that it is a bunch of gangsters, clearly, that has now infiltrated government in this country, and we have a duty and responsibility, just as Tobago, to eliminate them. Just as Tobago.
Well,
yes, my friend.
I'm not gonna hold anyone, but there's this movie called The Wolf of Wall Street. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
Take a look at that.
Yes, I kind of want to believe that is what's going on. They're on cloud 9. They're on cloud 9.
So they're saying that it has something worse than Animal Farm?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's what's
and you're
creating
ascribing that
delusion.
and you're ascribing that to what is unfolding for government and governance in this country. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, boy,
That's
I will have to see that, because I can't imagine something worse than this crop of PNM people under him. And of course, the words that I would like to use, I previously could have, but now that we have this commitment to making certain we don't lose the license, but I would have said it frank and thing. But if you want to really hear what I have to say, you better tune in every night from 8 o'clock. I'm not you, I'm talking about the general public. Tune in every night on the Corridor Transformation, and you certainly hear it raw direct.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, Rowley could do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? He could do nothing about it.
Let's go to the lines.
On National, and you'll get it live, and I'll tell you who Rowley really is in terms of his past salacious and other exploits. Let me put it that way. And that being as a, of course, give the people the phone numbers. Let's see if we can get some people in order, of course, to catch the early worm, so to speak, because of you know, when you catch the early worm as a bird, you certainly get fatter and you're more nourished.
The early bird sucks the sweetest flower. Andy always tells me that.
That's right, exactly. Whether it's bee or birds. All right, I hear you.
The number is to call 229-0251, 229-0251, or 239-5120, 239-5120. And let me just remind you guys here for a second on how delusional these people are.
The price of fuel by 15%. I then realized that was not enough. I came back again in April and I raised it again by 15%. And I came back again just a few weeks ago and raised it by another 15%. They haven't rioted yet. So I might raise it by another 15% in April of next year.
Yeah, that's the reality. What we have. Give them the numbers just in case we have new callers that would want, of course, to get involved in the very basis that we have laid already. I think it makes for a very interesting discussion this morning.
229-0251, 239-5120. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning to the big old man.
Good morning to you, sir.
Morning to Cuff. Morning to Andy. We have Andy. Morning to Mikey. went to Trinidad and Tobago. Lennox boy, they have a saying that a little learning is a dangerous thing, and most countries in the world, these fellas calling themselves politicians, all kind of big accreditation behind their name, HVE and HOZ and Z and all kind of thing. These are the fellas that you know the whole world. So Lennox, this fella, he surprised me. What the guy with the short hair, so he name
Scotland.
Yeah,
Scotland. Yeah.
He surprised me because Lennox will vote a government in office to make their life better. And if we used to use coal pot once upon a time, and we used to ride bicycle once upon a time, making our life better, which means we move away from that and we go into from point A to point B. But you're trying to take us back to that, and then you're speaking out, making the life better for people of China. How that happening? How you can make your life better? When you used to do something, you move up to that, right? From bicycle, now you want to go to a car, and then you might go to an aeroplane, or you keep moving up the road. You're trying to take us back and tell us about coal pot. Them fellas only talking for political points, you know. Because he ain't gonna like no coal pot. Whether he could get cold, whether he could get cold, he ain't going back in that. And he ain't going back and ride no bicycle. But he just, the PLM, they just want to fool black people, boy. It's only black people that could fool with that, you know. And the people who could fool with the supporters of the PLM. Because no other people don't believe it. They'll be saying, I don't know how. You know, something really wrong with black people, you know, boy. Everything people do, they tell them they're taking everything, boy. Tell me, yes, PLM rule in this country, and black man still to the bottom of the ladder. Everything that is black in this country is boy, you gotta keep away from it. Children and them wasn't all this fighting in the school. Check and see with the children fighting all the schools. The bandits and them in the country, check and see who doing all the killing and all the crime. They have a black government, they have black policemen killing black bandits. Oh, this color black hat, we had to keep away from that, boy. I can't understand what's going on. You have a black government that you vote for, alright. You have a black prime minister, alright. Most of the policemen in the service is black policemen. And most of the bandits they're killing is black bandits. So what really going on with the color black? Anyhow, Lennox, but I locked on listening.
Yes, my friend, I understand your frustration, but we have to deal with it, and to deal with it, we must as a society. Good morning.
Good morning, caller.
Hello, morning.
Yes, good morning.
Lennox. Morning. I went yesterday and I buy a coal pot, so I'm not supporting them boys a little bit. I paid $900 for it. A bag of coal is $300. No, serious, I telling you, I give you correct price, you know. $900 and $300 for a bag.
I am not surprised. I'm laughing because I'm not surprised, and therefore it's better to buy a bottle of gas.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I will keep on cooking. And Scotty boy, you keep on riding. Thank you.
I mean, it's ridiculous, hilarious, and totally stupid. Good morning.
Good morning, caller. Good morning, caller.
Morning.
How's it going?
Lennox.
Good morning to you, sir.
Report here, boy.
Yes, how are you doing?
Here what happened. The first thing I want to tell you, I want to think so, but the first thing I want to tell you, Lennox, if ever you go and join the PNM party, you cannot come home by me again. That is one.
Really?
Second, I'm telling you, anytime he joins PNM party, that means to say he gets stupid and doty, right? So, if you don't want to keep coming home by me, stay right where you is. Right. The second thing I want to tell you, Lennox, do not underrate Joseph and Tommy, Joseph and Errol, Fabian and them, and class this PNM minister with them now, boy. When them fellas on stage, you just get laughter. If these fellas go on stage, all you're getting bottle, stone, toilet paper, and cuss. That is all. That is one. The bicycle that Scotland was riding, the bicycle didn't get the bicycle with triangle wheel, you know. The bicycle had normal circular wheel. Is when he started to ride it, the wheel get triangle. Because you know what happened? He can't fit in a high-end vehicle and he want to ride bicycle. Them fellas dotish, boy. And the next thing is, before you get coals to put in a coal pot, you have to put wood in a coal pit and burn it there. So apparently he going to use the bottom as a coal pit, right? Them fellas dotish.
Well, I've never heard of that one before.
You never hear that? You're learning something. You see, since I just changed from PNM to UNC again, right? Right. And Mr. Brian Manning, I want to give you a good advice, fella. You talk about anybody who complaining about the gas is because they have a high-end vehicle. Fine. You want to say it's only politicians must drive high-end vehicle? I want them pass a law that all politicians must face the tax man. No tax break, no perks, no nothing. And face the same thing that we facing. All you getting $500,000 tax break plus perks. All you happy about that, right? When you was going to married boy, you look for a high-end woman to marry. You didn't look for one of your kind to marry, and you couldn't get a new brand one. You marry second-hand high-end one, right? Right.
All right, we have a lot of other callers.
One more.
Yes, indeed. Of course, we have limited time before callers, so you'll appreciate that.
Go
ahead quickly.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Shamfa Kojo, I want to tell you something, madam. Only because you have a minister job, you could shine up your face and put on horsehair on your head. I understand Johnny Q selling plenty Gorilla Glue, or you're sticking it up on your head all out, right? You're talking about we want free money. Let me tell you something, Madam Shamfa Kojo. A lot of people work in the sugar industry and the agriculture industry that never had the opportunity to pay tax and pay NIS. So how you want people to live when they get old? That's how we living now. And I had to live for a whole year on $66,000 face thing, and all you're getting that in perks. So watch your mouth, Madam Shamfa Kojo. Your bottom jaw longer than your top jaw.
Whoa.
All you think, have a good day.
God damn. Thank you.
I mean, they look for that kind of reference to themselves.
Yeah, they do.
They only have themselves to blame.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the lines. A pleasant good morning. Welcome to the
Good morning.
Ground Report.
Morning. Leonard, I
Yes.
just call you and say, because the police black, he shouldn't shoot the black bandit. Why? Because they're black like them and later kill people and roam the streets.
Yeah, I agree.
Eh?
Black
But
is not the
listen,
problem.
That's right. Black is not the
national
problem.
anthem, you know. I want to sing a national anthem here for you. I'm so sorry for my country. We have a bald-headed daddy. He gave me a banana and he made me happy. That is the place.
Good morning, caller.
Well, I don't think so because he tell himself that he will.
I
that because
really don't
everybody,
know.
Good morning.
Don't forget that part. Good morning. Yes.
So I'd like to make a contribution regarding Mr. Brian Manning.
Yes,
First
go
of all,
ahead,
Mr.
sir.
Brian Manning, Mr. Brian Manning found himself in Parliament only because of heritage politics. But I have to say something, boy. Fellas, Brian Manning, you have no shame, boy. Your father would be ashamed of you. I mean, you want people to premium cars is what, luxury cars? Then that's nearly half the cars on the road. I mean, your father would never say something like that. And the way he told the PNM line saying how he wouldn't trust it. Rudy and Darcy next to, with a drink next to Anita and something like that. I mean, come on, man. Your father would be ashamed of you. Imagine your father, you work with somebody, right? You working on put spirit lash on your father that they are stroke and dead. And you gonna work like his Bamsi and work for him in his cabinet. But here this time, I mean I proper lick Bamsi, man. Brian Manning, you have no shame, boy. I mean, I just single fella, eh? Well, if Shelly Das could look for something like that, I mean, then I in for something good, right? Take it easy, fellas. Good morning.
Yes, indeed. Well, of course, to Peace de Silva could work wonders. It's clear, and we know that from biblical story of Jesus, who was betrayed, of course, by Judas himself. So I say no more on that in that regard.
Thank you, Lennox Smith.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, caller.
President Lennox.
Yes. Good morning.
President, good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Lennox.
Hey.
You see how money just get people? These people now introduced to the mafia. So seeing that they're introduced to the mafia and they see what's going on now, and they're getting the opportunity to eat the right way they're supposed to eat, so the mouth full, so anything come out of the mouth, Lennox, that is what I could see. They can't tell the population nothing good. You know, but yet still, I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago, observe now, it have no Trinidadian and Trinidad again, because they're privatizing everything. From Shagamas to the whole waterfront.
Hello? We lost him? I'm not getting him here. Cough. Cough, I lost him for a while.
Yeah, I'm not hearing it anymore. I think we lost him there.
Okay, I will call back there.
Yeah, you can call back.
And I will be very interesting to hear the position that you would have had as a member of the Diego Martin West constituency about the causeway. Remember, the causeway was a big issue that the UNC administration wanted, of course, to construct to avoid the bottleneck or the one way in, one way out, the cul-de-sac nature of entering Shagaramas and getting out. I would like to know what the people are thinking of with respect to that, because that has been a promise since 2015 at least, and Dr. Rowley came into office, I assume, on that being one of the basis for him being considered in 2015. We love to hear what's happening, because I heard nothing in the budget about that, and that's his constituency. But let's go back to the lines. Pleasant morning. Welcome to the ground report.
Yeah, we're going
to morning.
Good morning.
Better advice. Don't try to analyze why they're talking what they're talking. I was looking at the Allen show, and every time we show you what Scotland say, or what Gonzales and them police, they're like being a trance, trying to figure out what really going on here. Like, you can't understand what's happening. Gonzales telling people, tell your children, no matter how they scream at you, you can't have macaroni pie. So he attacking the food industry. You can't go to the cinema 2 or 3 times a week, which nobody don't wear. Sometimes once a week, they run to the cinema. You can't have ham once a month. People just buy ham, make a ham every year, we know that. So why I try to tell you, don't try to analyze them. It's one word for them, you know. They gone cuckoo. They look as though these fellas gone crazy. And if you try to follow them, you might end up pretty mad also with them. The next thing I want to tell you, we will check back and see in 1981. Victor Bruce, the central bank governor, they sent him to Africa. I can't remember which part it was. And a couple of months later, he died. And they say coal pot fumes killed the man. He died from coal pot fumes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
We don't have to try to coal pot fume enough. Right? The long and short.
Well, that's what they encouraging us to do, to commit suicide then.
Yes, kill myself. This is what they encouraging me to do.
All right, I hear you.
They're going off Lennox. There's no two ways about it. They go raving mad. Thanks,
well, is there a term for beyond cuckoo? Because I mean, in the case of Gonzales, he did sit down at the opposite end of the Prime Minister in a Meet the People exercise, and did say that he wasn't aware that leaking pipes would reduce pressure to such a degree that people at the upper end of the system wouldn't get water. He wasn't aware of that.
Doing the job, you don't know nothing about engineering or nothing.
I hear you.
The script they get wrong over by anybody. If water anyone into the pipeline, they're going to get stink and smell and all kind of thing. So,
but the fellas There has to be a special word for them, boy. I don't look for it. I said, I don't look for the word for them. I was thinking about a word that.
Idiot and them things. Apart from it, you have to look along the line of idiots and stupid. Legoria is a kind of a word connected to diarrhea. You know, the mouth open and they just talk. Legoria, it is called. Maybe people could look for that word. Good morning. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. All right, my friend.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you. Good morning. Logoria, people look for that word.
You want to go for a break, Alex? Or
oh yes, indeed. I think we should, but of course, before we go, don't be surprised if we have Andy with us afterwards, because you know it is about the entire team. But yes, look for the word Logoria. It may be aptly describing these fellas. They simply. Maybe when they get a mic or the parliament, wherever it is, under some spell, they then, of course, talk nonsense that no one could really comprehend in reality. We go for the break, and of course, when we come back more on this edition of the...
I just want to leave them. I just want to leave them with this before we close off. Yes. You're going to pay a price for every bloody thing you do and everything you don't do. You don't get to choose to not pay a price. You get to choose which poison you're going to take. That's it.
Well said, my friend. Well said. We go for the break, and when we come back, more.
Limited. Services offer new tires and battery sale, motor vehicle inspection, mechanical repairs, fleet maintenance, tire alignment, wheel balancing and rotation, nitrogen installation, auto body repairs, authorized agent for all major insurance, windshield replacement, wrecking service, parts and accessories. SMR Enterprise Shogunas. Telephone 665-3377 or email warriorwages@yahoo.com. Open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Warrior Wages and Company Limited.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy.
Between some of the best old school DJs of this era on Saturday first.
Come to Sheltec for your everyday gaming needs. Get your eShop, PSN, Roblox, and Steam cards. Also get the latest PS5, PS4, Xbox, and Switch games. We have everyday specials, 2 for $500 on games for everyone. Shop online at sheltechelectronics.com and get even more discounts. Visit us at 11 to 13 Frederick Street, Capital Plaza, Port of Spain. Come to Sheltec for your everyday gaming needs.
There's a new drink that's transforming what you expect from a beverage. U-Juice is 100% natural and has the power of red ginseng, turmeric, ginger, and the world's strongest antioxidant, astaxanthin. Your new favorite drink has arrived. U-Juice, en route to the ultimate you.
U-Juice. And when me drink, we got a natural boost.
Listen up, everybody. More FM 104.7 presents the Charmaine Ford Show, hosted by international singing sensation Charmaine Ford. Mondays and Wednesdays. Tune in, call in, click on, turn it up. You've got to listen. You can't miss a thing. We're talking it all. A magazine-type format talk show that's innovative, informative, educational, and yes, fun. Yes, fun. It's not just talk. There's a whole lot of music. Listeners' participation is a must. The Charmaine Ford Show is on More FM Iconic Radio, Mondays and Wednesdays, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. The Charmaine Ford Show is on your radio.
Why is there still so much period stigma? Why have we been taught that our feelings are related with PMS? Why do people still believe that periods hold us back? I won't hide who I am. My body is strong, but it can also be vulnerable. I am everything the woman who came before me dreamed of. I don't accept period stigma. I am a new cycle.
Period or not, she can. With You by Kotex, you can choose from a variety of pads, liners, and tampons, so nothing can hold you back. Available nationwide.
Home is where you can foster new memories, where you can rejuvenate. Home is where love is, a peace of mind. Home is a house with a land to expand. Home is at the serene Brackenow Park or the gated sanctuary of Ella Vista Gardens. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, indoor laundry, and private parking. Starting at $1.275 million, Home is DG Homes, Sangre Grande, 691-5659, 721-9186 or 379-8990. DG Homes, modern and luxurious living for all.
Your family's legacy deserves a place of remembrance.
One that pays tribute to a life well lived. Imagine a picturesque garden where you can preserve your memories for a future generation in a serene, eco-friendly sanctuary
surrounded by lush tropical trees
where you and your loved ones can rest securely in infinite peace. Your legacy begins at the Orange Grove Memorial Gardens.
Call us now at 223-2178.
Shiny and Ari Restaurant number 67 Western Main Road, St. James, opposite Standard. For breakfast daily, Monday to Sunday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. On the menu, sada roti, Friday, roast beef, pie, coffee, tea, Milo, vegetable pizza, pancakes with assorted vegetables. Lunch specials daily from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Chicken pilau, $25. Assorted lunch from $25 to $40. Soup specials and crab and dumpling. Delivery of food available. Dinner a la carte on the pavement from 6 p.m. until burgers, chicken sandwich, hot dogs, fries and chicken, nuggets, shrimp burger, gyros, and anything else you can think about. Call 382-9347 to place your orders 7 days a week.
To complete your home or business project, well, the place is Michelin Hardware. We carry a large selection of roofing and plumbing supply, lumber, steel, water tanks, tools, and more. Get your sand, gravel, sand filled by the bag, yard or load. No one beats our prices. Visit us at M&R Building, number 97, Eastern Main Road, Aruka, or call 646-2144. WhatsApp 327-7761. Michelin Hardware.
Restyles Funeral Home Company Limited. Services include cremation, burial, embalming, human remains repatriation, tents, and grave markers. At Restyles Funeral Home, you can stay in the comfort of your own home and be assured that all your funeral needs are met, from the time your loved one passes on to the day of burial or cremation, which simply means we do registration, acquire death certificates, and much more. We are on call 24 hours, 350-3626 or 218-5104.
Hyde and More 104.7 FM presents Libra's Night. Libra's Night, Color of Love, on Saturday, 8th October at the Police Mess St. James with your DJs, Dr. Ross, Beats by Robin, Kevin Baker, Shotmaster J, Joe Grind, DJ Warrell, Rise International, and the boss of old school, Dr. Hyde. Saturday, 8th October, the Police Mess St. James comes alive. Advance tickets $100. At the door, you pay more. Get your advance tickets now at ticket outlets: Bobby's Bar Curel, La Luna Bar Aruka, Fouts Barbershop Mover, Shell Tech Electrical, Capital Plaza, the Police Mess St. James, Sama Crew, San Juan, Hunties Fast Food, Mova Laventil, and Barataria. Saturday, 8th October, we're heading to the Police Mess for Colors of Love. For Color of Love. All other zodiac signs, come celebrate with the Liberals.
Fast wine, fast wine, fast wine. Fast wine, fast wine, fast wine.
Color of Love.
M104.7. Say it loud.
1990, Chuck Rock jumps up on the scene with a lean and a pocket full of green.
Say it loud. Home of the hits.
104.7. Radio 104.7. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams, Michael Kerr, and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team on M104.7 as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday on M104.7 FM. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media, and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth. But we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
I would think that they've been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Nice! We finally kill the pitbull. Oh God! He ain't dead! Run!
Stand your ground. Push back. More FM
4.7. The price of fuel by 15%. I then realized that was not enough. I came back again in April and I raised it again by 15%. And I came back again just a few weeks ago and raised it by another 15%. They haven't rioted yet. So I might raise it by another 15% in April of next year.
And annoying me in the intervening period. You know what time I get up in the morning? I go to bed between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning and I get up at daybreak. And when I get up nervous many times. Because what's going to happen to us as a people today? And all of a sudden they're concerned about debt in the country. They're concerned about who's hungry. They're concerned about who's starving. They're concerned about... Just give me a break. Thank you very much.
Williams and Lennox Smith.
I'm not really trying to interfere with the bridge between the rich and the poor because there's nothing wrong with getting richer.
Meanwhile,
oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I say thanks to Director Cuff, Lennox Smith. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I had us to organize and come on. I say because the way the both of them going there, them looking to take my work.
Trinidad!
What? This hour? I said the way how them going is look like them want to take the Pitbull walk. And I ain't for that. But it's good. All hands must be on deck, but the Pitbull must be leave out. Can't be leave out on this at all. It's my destiny. Yeah. To be a part of this change. To use all influence, everything to talk to the people, yes, over and over and over if we have to. About informing themselves, educating themselves, and making informed decisions that will better impact themselves, their family. Come on, people. Let me don't ponder on that too much. We don't know. Them people gone mad. And while them gone mad, things hard, things bad, and things getting worse. Because again, we Prime Minister vow to us he have to make the rich richer in order to see about the poor. But the rich in this country get richer, he make them richer. And all of them going Guyana, Jamaica, they're going all over and building business and creating employment for them other nationals and not for we the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
What? This hour?
Well, that is so cliched. I'm not really trying to interfere with the bridge between the rich and the poor because there's nothing wrong with the rich getting richer, but the poor must come out of poverty. Right? So
well, that's kind of bridging the gap, you know.
That is the equation. It's not a seesaw where one has to go down for the other one to come up. You have to find a way that you encourage the rich to get richer, because in getting richer, they create opportunities for the poor. Opportunity. And of course, if one wants to take advantage of opportunities that are made available, one has to prepare oneself. Right? To make the sacrifice, to make the effort, because out of effort will come reward. So it's not a simple up and down situation. It is that you have a target of ensuring that no one is left behind and that there's opportunity for everyone to move up.
One of the things.
Where is the opportunities, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley? After we give them all we money. You say you have to make them rich and you did it. You gain them everything. You're still giving them everything. A penny to the dollar. The opportunities is cold pot. The opportunities is riding bike to go to work. The opportunities is mixing up the whole scenes on what subsidies is really made for, which is a Christian, the poor people, while they turn around what subsidies is for. When it was created by Eric Williams himself, based on what subsidies is all about. Subsidies, the reason for it was to do just what you do in the opposite of, Dr. Rowley, you Stuart Young, and all of you buffoons.
What? This hour?
And is that Understand, Trinidad and Tobago, for those of you that are locked on, what subsidies was really created for by the PNM, by Eric Williams and them. The subsidies was always created and was there and have to continue to be there because it's we wealth. It's a part of sharing the wealth of this country and cushioning, not having to raise gas again and again, and when that now having a ripple effect to raise transport, all our life under pressure, food prices. Hey, this government, they need to go. Go ahead, Director Koff, and only listen to what subsidies is about.
Permit me to correct the member of San Fernando East, who said last week that the fuel subsidy was about poverty reduction, as the Express newspaper editorial pointed out today. And I quote, contrary, and Madam Speaker, I'm reading an extract of today's Express editorial, as I quote, contrary to the view of Junior Finance Minister Brian Manning, the fuel subsidy was not introduced as a poverty alleviation measure, but as a cushion for all against a record level of 23% inflation. And I continue with the quote, having come into the unexpected good fortune of an oil windfall in the last months of 1973, the Williams administration moved to blunt the punishing impact of inflation by redistributing some of the windfall to the entire population through a package of subsidies in the 1974 budget. And Madam Speaker, I will just go with just one paragraph. At $973.9 million, it was the largest budget ever in the country's history, with subsidies for flour and other food items, gas and public transport, among other things. The truth, and not a distorted, self-serving version of history, is a far more productive basis for an honest conversation about the economy and sharing of national patrimony. Close quote, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm hearing the Minister of Finance. I mean, Eric Williams must be rolling in his grave today. In fact, Madam Speaker, I dare say that the member for San Fernando East has the unique ability to cause, or the distinction to cause, two previous prime ministers of this country to roll in their graves.
What? This hour?
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Understand, Trinidad and Tobago, while we continue to move forward, continue to keep that fire in our belly, continue to take that will, or keep that will, or get that will, get that passion. If you don't intend to leave Trinidad and Tobago and go to the next country to live, and you know you have to live here, you have no choice other than to fight for better Trinidad and Tobago, for better system, whether it be the healthcare system must be better. What everything must be better. It's either that or things going to get worse. All them home invasions, 4 more dead. Hey, it's going to get worse, and they're going to knock the doors on many of us that are not brave enough to want to stand up for what is right. Whether our lives are in jeopardy or not, because at the end of the day, it's already in jeopardy at this point in time with the way the crime going. What's up with the Pennywise? Innocent people with Pennywise robbery. Innocent people get killed.
Trinidad! More FM 4.7.
Whether or not Friday, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, they keep looking like all they don't want nothing, like all they're happy. Why Friday was a disappointment, but at the end of the day, each and every other believer and understand somebody, and you know, you still have to continue to keep the fire in your belly and don't let nothing demotivate you all. and wanted a better Trinidad and Tobago, which is wanted a better life. Because your livelihoods at this point in time are being destroyed, interrupted, landslips all over the place. Many people homes are cracking, breaking, mashing up, potholes all over. Well, I see now the potholing, with the fixing pothole with oil sand. What the bitumen? What the real thing? That oil sand thing can't work, and that company making millions of dollars to cover pothole with oil sand, while our kids and our parents, all of us poor people, still trying to scrape up children, school books, school shoes, and all those different things, rent, food, transportation, and many other. But boy, it don't look like you all suffering from those things that I now mentioned to you there. It's not looking like that at all. Because at the end of the day, when it's a stand up, you all don't. What you all do is you all flood the parties, the rivers, the beaches, the boat rides, the everything. And if somebody coming on there, they say, well, Shaggy or somebody or Beyonce, wherever, it's thousands of you that saying all this suffering. Oil landlord can't send the children to school properly, can't get them a good meal when the morning come. We'll find that money to do that of what we'll call entertainment over your own lives, your own kids' lives, your own selves. And at the end of the day, the people that throw that party is the people that come out winning while you still suffering. Is that making sense at all? No, it's not. For the English speakers like Lennox Smith, say, is that making sense? So I say, are that making sense at all? Oh boy. All of them who talk so, all of them who bright, is them destroying this country. They're bright enough to thief and how all are we basody. We need to put people there, set up with people there that have the heart for this country, that are willing to make sure that 1.3 million people, 4 million people have an impact. The wealth of the people, the country must spend on the people, and in return the people are going to heat up the economy by they're going to buy things, they will think. So all your 1% of them go still get the money back. But what you're doing is the money that's supposed to come to us, is what you're giving the 1%, your friends, your family, for finances. So we can't trickle it so the economy could get back booming again. And it will never, because you continue to give the 1% everything. 8 years now, a so-called black government in power. When the East Indian them in power, they say, look the scene about the people, look the scene about the people, look the scene about the people. 8 years now, have you seen about yours? The only person black I see you see about is Alan Warner in Tobago. And all the black ones who like to talk and put on hat and smoke cigar with long boots. Yeah, them on the farm. Yeah, them on a ranch. By the way, it's called inside slave. Yeah. I the one who is who sell we out. Who go in and tell Massa. Yeah, well look, this one planning to run away from the brutality. Hey, look, this girl looking to leave the farm, Massa. I don't know why she doing your that to no, Massa. Well, I've been raping her over and over and over, distressing this woman body all how I want her. And she still wanna leave this farm. Thanks for telling me. And she run away that day. Marcel set the plan. Let go eat dog and them to bite she up. Although he raped she over and over and over. Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, Stuart Young, and all the bag of cabinet ministers in this PNM government, they are house Negroes.
What? This hour?
And war boy, this fight will never over till death. Understand what I'm saying, you know? No money. No. All it is like to do all of them imps and them over there. And then I tell Fali from Tobago, don't go to no functions and this and that. That is the norms. You could never be happy, Fali, if the people of Tobago are unhappy. You could never be happy and celebrating with them deceitful people if the people of Tobago are not happy, Fali. So forget them functions. You be different, Fali. Be different. Lead them with the functions while you fight for your people and the betterment of Tobago. And it's that. And before we open the lines, I don't want to say much, you know, but understand again, for the last time, this bombardment for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, this relentlessness, this will, this drive, this purpose, until death do we part. I, Andy Williams, aka the Pitbull of Radio, will never stop.
Nice. We finally kill the Pitbull. Oh God, he ain't dead. Run!
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
But I know Lennox Smith is there, great job. But I just needed you and Cuff to have that more drive. All you don't have it, you know. But all you need to find that energy, because the work is far from over. And it cannot and will never stop. With the last set of breath that you all have in you, you must take it to continue to talk to the people. Yes, over and over. And give them that strength too. Give them that strength, that drive, that power, that passion. Because they just feel you. They're feeling the Pitbull this morning. And every morning, because I make sure that you have to feel the pain. And not them mama guys set that imps and them out there in the nice clothes. On the computer, mama guy and imps, big people, educated people, imps and big people. Kid Scotland, you going harass? I want you all to let Kid Slaughter know that the Pitbull looking for him. I need to fly his ass.
What? This hour?
Kid Scotland is not a Rasta. Fitzgerald Hines, if the Ras fly long time, you see the Ras leaving the hair. When you watch him, he looking like he have a normal low cut. Almighty God work on Fitzgerald Hines. He Ras needed to fly long time. Almighty God fly Fitzgerald Hines Ras. When you watch him and he put it in one, he look like he have a normal. He Ras big until he. But Kid Cutler on, it need to fly. He's a disrespectful, bright fella. Very bright fella with all kind of degree. You telling me about cold pot. Next one tell me about ride bike. What are telling me about to satisfy myself, or the people of Trinidad and Tobago must satisfy their self based on all your bad management of the people resources, that they must feel the pain for all you. We not on that and way. With a change of government, we coming at all you, we want back with money. All you who thief we out. Do we all kind of thing. We coming back for we money. want back all we bubble money. Don't forget that. So all of the lines are open. You all know the numbers. But Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you. I know you might have to make a little run there now.
Morning, Lennox. Morning.
Oh, Lennox gone. Hey, Mikey, you go ahead. Yes, boy, you go ahead.
He's there still.
Yeah. Morning, Mikey. Morning, of course, Andy. Of course. Morning. Yes, indeed. Of course. But I'm on my way out. So that's all right. So, Mikey, it's up to you.
All right, Lennox. Hey, good morning. Morning to my brother, comrade, Andy Pitbull Williams. Good morning to you again, Lennox, and of course, technical director. Good morning, gentlemen. To all our avid listeners. Yeah, I'm hearing something in the back. Do you hear me clearly?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear. But
okay,
you all have to keep away from feedbacks.
Yeah, there's what's coming on outside. I guess Lennox had switched off there. Hey, and good morning to you, Cuff, and again to all our avid listeners, all the good folks on the outside, Sister Isle Tobago, and to all our CARICOM brothers and sisters. Yes, Andy, quite correct. We have to get back the money. It's only fair. We have to get back the money. We have to go after them. So I agree with you 100% when it comes to reclaiming what was once ours.
Of course, we have to get back all we money. We cannot continue to have nobody, no politician, whether PNM, UNC, nothing must never come in power. Do that what this government doing here to we. And feel well after doing with this, them have a big life where they hat and the cigar, and you just call some drink Jongve Fokitu or something, so?
A bottle of Le Docteur Fou,
right.
1953, very rare collection.
That kind of thing, and the food. Where's called the food again?
Filet mignon, sorted in a mushroom sauce with a Mediterranean potatoes.
Yeah. We have to make sure them eating dry rice. We have to take that from them. Yes.
Well, you know, the thing about it there, Andy, and some people may say that what I am about to say is offensive. Yeah. I don't condone violence in any way. The ground report doesn't condone violence in any way. Andy Williams doesn't condone violence. Lennox Smith, Cuff, Mr. Amar, the entire staff and management. We do not condone violence. But when you hear talk about Coal Pot and bicycle, you have to understand that this is the MP for Port of Spain. What's up?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Lavanti boy. And here we say now.
And that is the thing about it. And I know for a fact, and you could ask Jacobs, you could ask whoever was there before, whether it be Williams, Gary, whoever, about the amount of people that were killed, that were murdered because of their display of disrespect. You know, that's a serious thing among the areas. That disrespect. See, that's a disrespect. It's a man get killed, Andy, because they didn't go to another gangster's funeral. They thought that was disrespectful. Anderson could tell you. But yet still, when this kind of disrespect is meted out, there's a deafening silence.
Oh, nobody, what you mean, Mikey, is nobody watching this disrespect as any disrespect. The way how simple things in the communities, they will watch it as a disrespect and a man could lose their life.
That's right. Not could have. Men lose their life.
Men lose their lives, yeah. For disrespect.
You didn't go to another gangster's funeral. That was disrespectful. The boss called and you didn't show up. You show up 2 days after. Yo, that disrespectful. When certain men move in and you don't give us access to your community, that's disrespectful, Andy. People have died because of that. But when a man could go where our business is supposed to be conducted and put out that kind of level of disrespect, bold and brazen, uncaring, no compassion, there's a deafening silence. Deafening silence. So is this a discipline of convenience? Is PNM discipline different to what is required for the rest of us from society? Because the minute the UNC says they'll do something, they're disrespectful, you know. Ask Shamfor Kojo. Kamala disrespectful because why? She highlighting the wrong that is taking place and she's demanding transparency. Jolene John disrespectful. Don't ask for Rudal Munilal, he disrespectful. Barry Padard, all of them disrespectful. Dave Tanku, and that's the first thing you hear. And of course, the underlining of that is some racial overtone.
Yes. Anil Roberts, disrespectful.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's right.
The boy Rodney from Rodney Charles, he and all the fine, he disrespectful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember Parliament for Shaguanas where's Dinesh Rambali? They say he real disrespectful.
Imagine that. Worse yet, when it come into Saddam Hussein, Saddam, they say, well, boy, that boy real disrespectful.
Yeah, that young fella disrespectful. Ravi Ratiram, disrespectful. Well, Victor Roberts, but they say he real disrespectful.
Yeah, they say he mad.
Along with Senator Anil Roberts.
Yeah.
Them two Roberts fellas, they real disrespectful. Everything that comes out of the mouth of any opposing factor, anybody who has a bit of sense to say this thing does not add up, anybody who is courageous enough to come out and stand up and stand their ground, you are viewed as disrespectful, and to these fellas also unpatriotic. But let's look at the heights of this disrespect. When you have an attorney general, well, a former attorney general, and a minister of rural development and local government, going in the same place where our business is supposed to be conducted and say, Trinidad and Tobago, we hear you. I want to repeat that. Trinidad and Tobago, we hear you. It's tough. Your government is with you. We're prepared to take the lash. We have to. We signed up for the job, but I'm here at your service. No, I don't know
Imagine that.
John F. Kennedy reverse psychology that he was coming with, hoping that he would be able to gain some sympathy from saying that. But you are talking about the lives of citizens. We're talking about the real stories that are taking place. Can you connect with that mother who has post-traumatic syndrome after giving birth and seeing her child that came out of her crying day and night because she cannot provide basic food for that child? She reaches to a point where she can't take it no more and she has to do something very, very drastic. Can you connect with that, Alwari, on the level of hurt? Can you connect with the man who wants to stay out there all day rather than to go home among his family and feeling as though he's a failure because he can't provide the basic fundamentals? A man who was holding a job, a man who felt a sense of independence, a man who felt as though he was, listen, I am here for my family. Now he has been totally emasculated. He has been cut down to the size of someone that he himself has to question his self-esteem and even his own existence. Can Alwari relate to that on that level of disrespect? Because he is saying that your government is with you. The amount of times you recuse yourself along with others from cabinet because it was a conflict. Were you there with us? When Petrotrin was shut down, were you there with us? When so many people on the breadline and suffering, are you really there with us? Are you really on our level? So what are you trying to pull off? When you say that at the end of the day, we signed up for the job, but he, Alwari, is here at your service. And that is the level of disrespect, Andy, that nobody wants to touch on.
So
Unless somebody goes somewhere and somebody tell them, oh, what you bet? Yeah, that kind of disrespect, and something had to ring out because you don't care. You could take the life of another, you could snuff that life out, but ask yourself, who really disrespecting you? Who really showing you that kind of disrespect that they don't care, that they're not compassionate? Because the cousin that you're shooting across the borderline, you and that cousin grew up together, you know. Only went little school bazaar and all that. But today you don't see that person as blood because you don't care, you gun them down. But when somebody comes to you who's supposed to be managing your affairs and rather managing the economy, mama guy in the economy, is telling you at the end of the day, I could simply get a letter from the bank and go and put something on a lot in Port of Spain that guarantees that the government is going to rent it from me and I don't have to put much money out of my pocket. Is that the kind of disrespect we're talking about? Can you really connect with that? while you trying to make ends meet and everybody else have ham, lamb, and jam. But they're telling you at the end of the day, TNT is hurting. We understand that. We acknowledge that. We acknowledge it to the point that we say, listen, grab your bicycle and bring out your coal pot. We acknowledge it, but we simply cannot manage the situation. So we go stay here and give you that disrespect. That's it.
What? This hour? The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
The lines are open, Trinidad and Tobago. The numbers to call 229-0251. That's 229-0251 or 239-5120. That's 239-5120. And for all the poor people, wherever you could get the sneak a little internet, WhatsApp call us. Send a voice note to us at 366-3053. 366-3053. Mr. Pleasant, good morning again to those of you that lock on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, and for all of you that are lock on to us on 104.7 More FM, the fourth pillar of democracy and the only mainstream radio station or media that are functioning the way it's supposed to function in order to try to make your lives better. Understand that. So the lines are open. Morning caller, where are you calling from? What's your contribution?
South. Good morning to the whole crew and the added listeners. As usual, I want to commend researcher yesterday for that wonderful and effective contribution. And also, I want to wish Mrs. Santa Cruz happy belated birthday. I have a little gift, but it cannot be wrapped. Very, very short. Wherever you go, whatever you do, we will be right here standing with you. Yes. Whatever it takes, oh how our heart breaks, we will be right here listening with you. I remember we are all in this struggle and this battle together. We cannot be deserted this morning. Not only this morning, in the whole struggle on the whole. And not only, they only talk about coal pot, but what about chula? Look, children, don't misbehave. I'll deal with all you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller.
I know Miss Santa Cruz is happy there.
Yeah.
Harry Manilova.
But I tell you, that this man is too poor, he sing, but I wouldn't lie. That's the will we want people to have, Mikey. The man learning, he started singing a little better than before.
Man, talented. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
he moved into round number 2, you know.
Yes.
He moved on to the second round.
Yes.
What? This hour?
Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from and what's your contribution this morning on the Ground Report?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Toronto, Canada.
Oh.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox.
And Mikey.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
I wanted to call just to say that PNM government is letting us Trinidadians and Tobagonians to let them eat cake. And if you don't have gas, then get a coal pot. I was worried about you, Andy. I thought you run out of gas. You know, no money for gas. You can get a bike yet. Anyways, Lennox.
Is Mikey K there right now? What is Mikey K there right now? So talk to Mikey.
Oh, okay, Mikey.
Hey.
You might know too, Andy. I was wondering why they can't just, the opposition can't do a vote of no confidence. On the amount of thing this man get away with. What is the logistics of it?
Logistics of that is even if they come with a no confidence, they still have 22 seats, and it will intake that PNM members that may have that godliness in them and and is God fearing and honest and you know
Right.
yeah, but I ain't think it on none day, so they ain't go vote with the opposition on that.
Okay. I was just wondering. All right. Well, you're doing a good job, though. Keep it up.
No problem.
God bless.
Toronto. Appreciate it.
Stand your ground. Push back.
Yeah, Mikey. So again, Trinidad and Tobago, all the lines are open. What's your contribution this morning? So, Mikey.
Trinidad and Tobago, we hear you. It's tough. Your government is with you. We're prepared to take the lash. We have to. We signed up for the job, but I'm here at your service. The PNM signed up for the job, but only Alwari is here at our service. What are we seeing here? What are we witnessing, Andy? You know, man, it has some serious problems going on in that camp. You wouldn't believe. But you know, it goes to show you that there's so many leaks. First of all, the bacchanal that taking place that we hear in a little birdie, and they dropped off some information here in the mailbox. A little birdie said bacchanal in the La Horquetta constituency. It is alleged that the PNM General Secretary and MP for La Horquetta, Talparo, has created over 25 illegal party groups in the constituency after the deadline date. People saying like he really want to sit down in the big chair, boy. They say they had a private event last week and they didn't invite Marvin Gonzalez, and that caused one big fallout. They leave out Marvin. Maybe perhaps they were having macaroni pie or what have you, but that causing a big bacchanal in the Balize private event last week, and Marvin allegedly was not invited. They say they want to pull a Rowley. They say PNM will lose. He will have the money and influence on all the MPs. Oh my gosh. Plus their support from the education person. This education person seemed to really support this man, boy. And they say Paul Leacock is looking to replace Camille Robinson Regis. They have a plan. Oh God. Andy, they said
Wow.
25 illegal party groups in the constituency.
Wow.
Like he want to sit down in the big chair.
Remember?
And then there was a private event last week and they didn't tell Marvin. Marvin wasn't invited. Maybe the macaroni pie would have been too much for Marvin.
No,
probably
they
was
realize
serving ham.
they realize the way Marvin dealing with WASA and public utilities, they don't want he company around them at all because it's just failure, so you can't blame them.
And the man from La Horquetta is making his moves. They say the man have a big war chest and he has influence on all the players. All the players. They're asking how come the Hobbit, who don't really attend other people thing, once La Horquetta call, the Hobbit does find his way down in that area. A man like the Hobbit don't move so. The Hobbit don't move like he just don't go any and everywhere. You can't just call out the Hobbit. You dare not even call him at all.
Finance minister call him in birth. The Hobbit come out.
Once La Horquetta pick up the phone and call, like it's the back phone boy, and the Hobbit come in. The Hobbit is going. Why is that? They're asking questions. What kind of power this man have?
Let me tell you the power that man have now, boy.
Have?
You can't remember the story long time when you used to watch movies. Whoa, Thundercats. Whoa, and then a light go come in the sky and just powers and the powers just pulling the Hobbit.
La Horquetta real powers. They want to know about this 25 illegal party groups after the deadline date. And how it is that education so hummy-chummy and thing up on how come he had that support guaranteed?
No, but I hear
And
why I hear he supports the education minister as a minister with everything in him, boy.
Morning.
Hey, we have a caller. Hold on. Morning, caller.
Yeah, morning. Gentlemen, and sometimes wonder why we hotting up we head so much, you know. Because at the end of the day, when we have these protests, these walkouts, The people not coming out. Why are we hotting up we head and going over and over? The people right now don't want to protest. When things budget, we tell them big protest Friday. Some people come out. The majority people home in their house or they want to watch it somewhere and then quarreling about the government and the government. But people in Trinidad like what they getting. They like the gas price because the gas station, normal people go in and full up. Nobody not complaining. They stay behind doors and they will talk. They're not complaining about nothing. People just rock back. They go on social media. They say a few words. Boy, with gas going up, what we going to do? Boy, we go cook and cold. And what happened after that? Nothing going on. Nothing. The people of them Trinidad and Tobago like it, you know. We could hot up their head. All the fellas could come on radio every day and talk the same thing. What are they doing? Come on, people. All activists, come on. Let us unite. Come out. But you know what? At the end of the day, gentlemen, this is my opinion and my opinion. At the end of the day, in the front line, who calling our people? Who are the people? We sorry to say, but the UNC is an Indian-based thing. They don't want no Negro people leading them in no march. They're waiting for the UNC people to come out and say, let me march. And this is what the leaders and them not doing in our political party of the UNC. They are still now behind us, and when they coming out and talk to you when in front of you, yes, former Prime Minister, that. And at the end of the day, they're not saying nothing after that. They're going in Parliament and talk one set of thing and nothing behind it. They're not calling all the people to rally. They're not coming all the people to do nothing. They only leave it up to the activists to try and do something, and the activists and them not getting the support that I sure if the UNC would come out with and say, hey, we can't take this no more. Let me try and see what we could do. Let me try and see how I could help my constituents, even if as some people say, starting the constituents. Come out to Pariab. Yes, we're holding a big march. Come, which part of the march coming? In Tongue. I sure it's not South people coming up in Tongue as much. There's only Tongue people. Eh? Let me hold a march San Fernando. Let me mash up the place. I'm not mash up and mean a district thing, you know, but let me come out on the road. Let me try to close. But the UNC people not doing nothing. Because at the end of the day, we just talk about the Prime Minister get the big dollars, them getting the big dollars too. Because them salary nice as well. All of them have business, have the profession going on. Them not time with politics, you know. Them not time with the people and them, you know. And this is what we feel. And we are for people. And for people, not for themselves. They are for the individual self. And they would complain about the individual self and nothing else. Yeah, we go say boy guys back, but at the end of the day we going by the pump and we filling up the car because we don't care about nobody else and we are for ourselves. It's only the poorer man on the, which is many people on the end of the scale, and we feeling it, you know. There is all, you know. That's why we're not getting no support from nobody. You see them people, as we just said, they had the money, they had the things, so them to hell with whoever ever. Whenever the election come around, we go rally, and that's your personal view. That's my personal opinion.
Oh, that's just your personal view. You believe that is how they operate, or however. You believe that's what going on. You believe that they're not mobilizing. You believe that they're not protesting. You believe that they're not moving. So that's your belief.
Yeah, this is my personal. Bring all the people. Don't just sit down behind closed doors and hoping that the activists will bring on people. It don't work. So when the PNM went to the thing, what they was doing, everybody was outside, the Red Army, and there's everyone protesting, people coming out, right? But everybody, all the politicians want to sit down and watch the activists try and do something to benefit their own self, you know. Because when the activists come out, who benefiting? Is the politicians benefiting, you know? Not the activists, you know. The politicians, and they're not doing nothing to help the activists in no kind of way. Right, gentlemen? And this is my opinion.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Appreciate it.
But oh boy. Morning caller. Morning caller. Morning caller. Where are you calling from?
It's the same thing. When I talk about Kamala, people want to eat off my head. Kamala have 19 seats. She want to sit back there and relax. Yes, sir? You as the opposition in the country, you have say, come out and call a march, or shut down the place, do something. But she just resting back there and doing nothing like that. Show your power, show your strength, show them you don't afraid them. But when I talk, they say Kamala doing this in Parliament and you don't hear what she's saying. That is not the point where you want to show them where you're strong. Get up from here and find yourself and call out at a march. Do that, Kamala. show your strength, show your power. But say what?
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Good morning. Good morning, caller. Where are you calling from, and what's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
I am contributing to what the last two callers. Kamala did between 2010 and 2015 by providing the services, the resources, and by making citizens' life much better. And what they did, they didn't want it, they voted her out. You should have asked them, and what are they doing? Everybody wants to rock back and wait for Kamala. What are they doing? They don't watch Parliament, what goes on in Parliament when she tries to make a point. They don't listen to the Monday night and all the different virtual all over the place. What the women's arm is doing, what the youth arm is doing. Instead of they calling the program to complain about Kamala, they need to organize and round up people in their own community and make a start.
Thank you for that perspective, madam. Thank you so much.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and
of the narrative. Yeah, and they wanted to hear both sides of the narrative.
Yeah, well, look at next side of the narrative just come in. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
but my issue is this, and I want to agree with this lady on some of the things that she pointed out, as far as looking for kinks in the armor of Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Listen, there are 5 individuals who have questions to answer. 5. Not 1, not 2, but 5. We're talking about the central bank governor, the chief justice, the president, the attorney general, and of course the prime minister. 5. It amazes me even when people reach the point where they even blaming school children, when in fact the message is, do as I say, but don't do as I do. 5 people in very high positions. And you want to know why school children acting so indisciplined? And when you look at that, Andy, at this point in time, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and the lady made it quite clear, even in Parliament, trying to raise an issue, the amount of time she was interrupted when, of course, replying to the budget, in the budget debate last Friday, it's quite questionable. And I like what she stood her ground, and she was questioned, but Madam Speaker, you know, and then she realized, you know what, it would be definitely exercise in futility to even argue with you. I don't have time for that. I came here to do the people's job, and that's exactly what she did. By highlighting and breaking down things in a very comprehensive manner so people can get a clear understanding of this uncaring, this government that simply doesn't care or you don't matter, in a budget that was presented there only, of course, to deal with the fact that we have to go through more hardships and we have to suffer. So we look at both sides of the coin. But it is the people again, and that's why so many people are frustrated. Yes, you come here and you vent, and we provide the platform. And as Andy said, we are not going to give up. We are going down to the last breath. We are not going to give up. I mean, I have no faith in politicians, but I still have some belief and hope in humanity, in the fact that you do want better. Beyond all the red and the yellow and all of that we may want to stand for and be affiliated with, we have a country that we need to leave for another generation. And we are not doing a good job at it currently. We are playing games. You have people who want to tell you how much worse off we can be and make comparisons to that. And tell you, yes, we know we're suffering. We know we're hurting. We know we're on the breadline. We know our men have been emasculated. We know our women have to compromise their sexuality to get ahead. We know that many of them are being killed for that very same reason, because there's a sense of frustration taking place in the domestic domain. We are quite aware of that. But we are not handling it well at this point in time. We are losing citizens. The only thing that would surprise us now is getting up in the morning or sometime during the day on social media and hear that someone wasn't killed or wasn't caught up in some exchange of gunfire with the police. And that's the reality. Kamla Prasad Visesa is not the issue in this. What are you doing as an individual? Who are you speaking to? And if you have a personal axe to grind your axe. Take it to the person that you need to take it to. The opposition leader is accessible. Vote to her. But at the end of the day, understand our main objective is to rid the country of this. And when we say rid, it means that we have to shift our ideology. We have to understand and not just say it and make it some empty, shallow rhetoric that we are the government. We must believe that. We must know, we must feel it. It must be tangible that we are indeed the government. Regardless of who is there, we have the final say. It is not about third party and fourth party. You can bring a million party if our mindset remains the same. If it is that we fail to ask the question, am I the citizen I need to be for the country that I want? Then it doesn't matter who's sitting there, because we will condone wrongdoing and we will compromise. We will compromise the integrity of this country. So what are you doing?
Must make the government work for the people rather than have the people work to keep a government in place.
You must develop a sense of self-reliance. You must develop a sense of confidence. And you must know and remember that parliamentarians are your servants and that you are the lords of the land. And so I ask you to put your hand on your heart, every one of you, and shout after me, I am the government.
And as Mikey said, let us believe, I am the government.
I am the government.
I am the government.
I am the government.
I am the government. You is the government. We is the government. Go ahead, Mikey.
Andy, and you're right. You have to believe it. Your existence, the main purpose of you even being alive is for you to understand the powers that you possess. We can't just be making reference to North America and other parts of the world and talking about how these people operate. No, their social DNA is entwined into so many things, a sense of consciousness, a sense of understanding their being, understanding their purpose and their value. Every American believes that the Constitution was built around them. They believe that. From the homeless man to the man who's living in the ivory tower in the US, they may not be able to quote it as far as amendment by amendment, but they will make reference to it and say, I have rights. And how you know you have rights? It's in the Constitution, because they believe that their being is threaded into that Constitution. It's built around them. It represents them, whether black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. All they know is that they have rights, and they are not going to sit by idly and have these rights violated, because that Constitution was meant to represent each and every one of them, regardless of the struggles that African Americans had, or the troubles that Asian Americans had, the history, the brutality. None of that matters when they understand the main purpose of their existence, and their rights and civil liberties exist in that Constitution. When are we going to get there? The minute you start to move out, we have a thing now, we say, are we going out there? But I want to let you know we got permission. We got permission. We got permission. And then every time they can hurry, oh, they got permission, they got permission. I mean, really? Who
asking for permission to go and do what is constitutionally recognized that you can do?
That's right. Yeah. Who asked for permission to shut down Petrotrin? Who asked for permission to take our money and tie it up in deals unknowing to us? Who asked permission to go and have these non-disclosure agreements with the Chinese government? Who asked us permission? Who? Nobody asked our permission. Nobody consulted with us. Nobody came and gave us any sort of correspondence. But that is the new thing now. Well, I get permission. The thing. All right. Nobody wants to rain on your parade. But if you say we're going in town, we're going in town. Who's to stop you? Town is an open space, it's a public space. You ain't mobilizing nobody, but you know, hey, we are heading to town. And it's not about a photo up. And it's not about how many likes on social media. We should be and we need to be beyond that. I keep saying it and I said it from day one. There are no star boys and no star girls when it comes to saving a country. Don't ever believe that you could be bigger than what it is you need to serve. The minute you start believing that, that will be your demise. Stop thinking like that. If we go in, we go in. You don't beg and ask and plead. Why? Because you want to stay within the realm of what? The law? Something that you yourself can't even define? Andy, nobody asks us permission to put us under this suffering, you know. Nobody asks permission to put over 5,000 or 8,000 people on the breadline, you know. Nobody asks permission to make sure that the most vulnerable in our society is not protected, you know, that can't even access grants. And if they do, they have to have their party card. Who asks us any permission to implement these things? Who? Come on, man. We are the government.
You must develop a sense of self-reliance. You must develop a sense of confidence. And you must know and remember that parliamentarians are your servants and that you are the lords of the land. And so I ask you to put your hand on your heart, every one of you, and shout after me, I am the government. Louder, I am the government. I am the government.
The people of Trinidad and Tobago are stupid, and I have to listen to that foolishness. I represent 29,000 electors in Devon Martin West. I don't know one of them.
Morality in public affairs.
Once you are in the political arena, you are available to be questioned by every citizen of Trinidad and Tobago because you are managing their affairs.
And that's what the Ground Report, Mikey K, and Lennox Smith, the Pitbull, that's what we are doing, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. You are in the political arena, you are representing all of us, and we are asking the questions that you and your government don't want to answer nobody to. You bad when anybody asks you anything.
Yeah.
Morning caller.
Bad.
What's your contribution this morning on the Ground Report caller? Morning caller. Caller, you are listening to the phone. Next caller.
Yes, I'm
morning caller.
Yes, good morning. I'm doing my K and everybody.
Morning, sweetheart.
My K, they get me vexed. What all you want Kamala to do? All you only calling. Look how much protest we have. All you when come out and all your thousands. Leave Kamala alone. Come out. And when all you come out and flood the street and flood town and shut down town. Call Kamala. Let she come now. All you want to come out to do all your work. Kamala don't come no way. Come no way. All you sit down and all you. Oh, even the Pitbull have back in here all you talking. Well, bring out Kamala, bring out Kamala. Andy, Mighty K, Lennox, all have a nice day.
Thank you, madam.
Good morning, caller.
Coal pot, coal pot, coal pot, coal pot.
Broken.
Morning caller.
Yes, Silver Fox in town.
Go ahead, Tobago.
Yes, man. Now, we have to realize we're going along a dangerous road. The people of Trinidad and Tobago, too late will be the cry. I hear all our listening this morning, and this one calling out Kamala and that one calling out Kamala. But I want to tell you something. Kamala is defending a country, a coward people. Kamala is defending a country, a coward people. A people that don't want to fight for their own self. And if you don't want to fight for yourself, you want her to come out here for them to take out her heart. You want them to take out Kamala's heart because we have over 1 million people. And if you have a demonstration, you're getting 50. Where is this scrap iron people who said they were distressed that the government wants to take their work? Where are the scrap iron people today? They are a bunch of jokers. They are a bunch of hypocrites. You cannot do a demonstration by asking for permission.
From the time problem take the country, all that we had to hit the street. Once you're doing a demonstration and you're calling to get permission, that means you are on an independence parade because the police now is leading you and Rowley is laughing. Rowley is laughing at us. We have to get up for our rights. We have to stand up. People of Trinidad and Tobago, you will not get a next election if all it goes down this way. Rowley and them cannot get out of office because it's the wrong things they're doing. This short Dwayne in both never take a day home yet. They have things to protect. Rowley cannot call an election. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to call that election for him because we going back into slavery. You know what is slavery? You know what is slavery? Read the book of Alexander Halex. Roots. Read the book of Roots. And you will understand how a slave is. People of Trinidad and Tobago, you are sleeping. Oh, you are not sleeping, you're just cowards. You are covered in the country. Once you are coward, only calling for Camilla, call for yourself. You call out the people of your village. Let the other people call out the people of their next village and so on, and let's come out on the street. No asking for permission. And it's the only way to move Rowley from power. Have a good day, Trinidad and Tobago. This is the Silver Fox. I'm out of here.
Thank you, Tobago.
Yes, yes. So for all the new callers, again, while the lines are lit up, I'm going to give the new callers the numbers. 229-0251. That's 229-0251 or 239-5120, 239-5120, or give us a WhatsApp call for all poor people and foreigners that are out there that look on to us. 366-3053, 366-3053. What's on your front burner? What's the important issue that you need to bring here on the number one program in Trinidad and Tobago on a morning, the Ground Report? Morning caller.
Yes, indeed.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Gentlemen, the caller who stated that he's disappointed in the people whenever we have protests. I'm also disappointed too as well. Now, if the become of a leader, and the leader say, you're blocking the road Friday, or you're blocking the road, you think your become go come out? The leader is among to come out. If the leader said that we're going to meet at point A, but you can't want to lead something and not take funds. For instance, people were asking for, where Mikey K, where Andy, where Lennox? By this time, some of them get stopped and they go on wrong too, because they want to see the leaders. When you all call up people, whether Mr. Anisette and Sir Roger, who, they want to see them when they come out. And I'm saying, let us say what they want. You can say Rowley that part, this, that. You can talk about everybody. But why who support Kamala can ask Kamala to come up? 90K around, and all of those who Silver Fox too. When is even taken charge? When the murder the little boys by the public man, this is the officers. And when we say we blocking the road, you know what I say, listen here what? You can't tell them fellas the train tire from the westbound lane, you know. I say Anderson go out and show a tire too. Because if they go, how your supporters go feel, how can the citizen, as the resident of Peter will feel, that you packing tires all night in anticipation, the day before, and in the morning they can't see you. They will feel dumb. I am telling you all, the country in Goshen so, and a lot of people love Kamala, and the only good thing I heard you all said, you don't get no permission to walk no wage yet. It's the biggest set of dunce people I ever see. From Ansel Roger, all of you leaders, the one who let us call and accept all of them, they're big dunce. Anybody writing to the commissioner for permission to walk, something is wrong with them. And they were inviting the police officers. I said we must go out there. And the only thing they beat them, they had to say beat them because they shut out the country. But why it must be they beat them? over and over to show you the landfill can lift. The list 4 deluxe roads can be blocked. Why is only the BTM? Only in the iron industry that pack ends too. Those who are still in iron, the BTM is ends too. I only know those stop dealers and the BTM is ends too. Them shopping men, shopping women, whoever else in iron. I think one of them came out. The other ones, all do one thing for 2-3 days, and all get banned for 6 months. Rowley don't care about this country. He don't care about the citizens. And it's time we show Rowley. And there are a lot of people in Rowley. I'm talking about the Honorable Dr. Christopher Rowley, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. It's time we show you, Dr. Rowley, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. I give all the care about him. I understand that don't care about you. And that goes to you, President Lines too. I as one person don't like all you. I will never like the PNM. The best PNM is at the end one. And I'll say this and say this. I don't care about you, President Lines. Only Minister of National Security, they came out of the Parliament taking the care. I hope you got the one when I showed you my middle finger. That I hope you get that one good. Another thing to you all try to victimize people, try to intimidate people, and the country is falling for it. We are going down the road, we're going to continue to suffer. And I'm telling you, Candy Kamala, you need to say about walking from Galilee to the Savannah. You need to come out and say something. Need more than the money than the 10. And who got to me this morning that all your business and the Simonson can't come out alone. Kavanagh can't come out alone. Donny can't come out alone. Mighty Andy can't come out alone. Victor Roberts can't come out alone. We don't want to let the war, but mobilize the people. Let them hear we in a cottage meeting or something. And we say, well, you know what, we got any Chavonas, we got any South. This is a war. We want Tanti. You hear that? You hear that? It's a big discussion this morning on the BTM. And they're going with nothing else but anti-Kamala. What about that? I don't understand. All they may not like BTM people. All they may not like Laventille people. You all are Caroni and Penal have voted one way. Laventille continue. We wish that all the old people in Laventille can dead. And all of us see PNM a lost election. So I'm calling quick. If it's the CMO who had gotten the national award, can't see they kill old people in Laventille alone. And give Laventille a fresh butter here. So I wish that all the old people in Laventille.
No, but you can't say that.
You can't say that.
No,
you can't say that. Thank you so much. You can't
no,
say
you can't say that.
Yeah. Please play it. We're not wishing death on anyone here. We don't condone violence. And that is not, of course, does not reflect the views of the management staff and, of course, the license holder, as well as the ground report and the members of the ground report. You have the disclaimer there, Andy? We can't.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment as the truth. That you have to judge for yourself. We, however, reserve the right to question statements made. But in this time of misinformation, government-controlled media and corruption, it is sometimes hard to get the truth, but we must try. It is not our intention to discriminate or annoy anyone. We believe it is our constitutional right to free speech, to voice our opinion, and our duty to the population and country to expose the truth. More FM Limited takes no responsibility for the opinions of others.
Oh boy, the lines are open. The numbers to call to all new callers 229-0251. That's 229-0251 or 239-5120. That's 239-5120. Or give us a WhatsApp call. All foreigners, all poor people, just get internet. Send a voice note at the 366-3053 WhatsApp 366-3053. Morning caller, where you calling from and what's your contribution this morning on the ground report?
I'm calling from London, Andy.
Underground.
Andy, you know, Friday gone day. I was real disappointed, but I was in Port-au-Prince since 9 o'clock. You understand? Me and Anderson was the last two men to leave in front of the parliament day. You understand? I was really disappointed.
But don't give up, Donny. Or even if you're disappointed, you can't give up.
Don't give up, Donny. Don't give up, Donny. Keep the fight.
We understand that after we make a good struggle out there, but I was disappointed in the people, boy. People only talking, and you see this nasty picture lines. By the time about 15 away, boy, nobody eats nothing whole day, boy. I spent for the Royal Castle about between 4 and 5 o'clock. You know that man come out and take some pictures and some videos and send it to whoever and post it on Facebook, boy. And he telling me target to eat and but if I know how for that do that I hit them a box of Royal Castle in the face, boy. This man forced me up, boy, and saying that's how we get paid for a box of Royal Castle, and boy. This nasty, dirty Heinz, boy.
Wow.
He actually probably know that I hit him a box of Royal Castle in the face.
No, don't reach down in the gutter.
People hungry.
Stay above that.
Eating something this man.
So all he was eating because he was out there whole day. All he had to eat.
Not boy. Yeah. What are you gonna do? But we are giving up. Yeah, that's right. But me and this was the last 2 men to leave down there that night. But the police laugh at me at the watch and we come out and just a handful of people that way. But I'm disappointed in the trade union men on it. And the scrap iron men on it.
Yes. Thank you, Donny. That's Londonville. Oh boy. Morning caller. Where you calling from? And what's your contribution this morning?
Mahatma from Central here.
Go ahead.
Now, people calling for the opposition leader to lead march. Look at Iran, where they killed that little girl because she didn't have on hijab. Did the opposition organize for more than 3 weeks now than people hit in the streets? No opposition didn't call for that. The people take it upon themselves. The war against Ukraine. Then people in Russia protesting. It have nothing like opposition leader there. The opposition leader is in jail. Let me tell Trinidad and Tobago something. The police service is owned by the PNL. And I could say that, right? When they watch this big, strong, I can't describe him more than he's had a Port of Spain, right? Them looking for any excuse to lock she up. Kamala talking about. So and it will be the fastest trial in Trinidad. We'll watch and see. And once she get a conviction and she looking to appeal, she can run for election because she have a conviction, right? So we have to be careful. We calling for Kamala. Why we looking for a head? Why don't we use we foot? We own people and march for we own. Yes, we want Kamala back, but it has to be more than one way to skin the cat.
You ain't realize Roger Alexander show you true PNM colors with this match and talk on radio, national radio. Want to make sure they get out that tongue by 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Parliament had to go on and thing. I hear that turn off real people from coming out because the man intimidating people.
The square to the lock. The people's square, the people's parliament is the square. They lock it up. You understand? And he had, I will suspect he had a hand in that. And if you reach him from the parliament, and he said on TV, you know, the law will deal with you all if you don't disperse by 1:30. And the people will get telling them, keep moving, you can't stand up on one spot. That man, boy, I don't know what to say. He's a true reflection, and most of the officers in the police service against the opposition. So we have to be careful when we're talking and we want Kamala out. There was a protest in Shogunas by the Borough Corporation with her blessing, and look at the amount of people came out. The women hit the street with a pot and pan. Well, we don't need no head. We have our own head, man. Oh, people, gosh, man. Enjoy it, gentlemen.
Morning caller, where you calling from? And what's your contribution to the Gong Report this morning?
Morning. Sorry about that. Morning Gong Report, each and every one, all the listeners. Well, we see, I know it is always there. It is always fact that the police service towing the government line, you know, to do all the dirty work and whatever. And if that fella could talk about that Roger Alexander, them fellas had never stooge, right? But the people had to make up their mind. right? It's either you want something, you want a change, or just come on the radio every morning and talk and make a certain noise, and that wouldn't serve nothing. For something to happen.
Yeah, but Roger Alexander cannot continue using police and we money to be disrespectful to the people. The last time Roger and Sean, whatever this man name, he talked about old people and old foul and all kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bim and bam, husband and wife on TV6 every damn evening from 6 o'clock. We gotta be watching.
Nastiness and them.
Yeah. We call him Malan Hawkinson or Hutchinson or whatever. Bim and bam.
Lennox have a name for him, Johnny Bravo. Big muscle and no brain.
That Roger Alexander wife, Marlon Hutchinson is his wife.
Yeah, Marlon Hutchinson. Yeah, that's him, man. Yeah. So these fellas and them, I mean, them is stooge. So the people have to make up their mind to come out and do what they have to do. The square belongs to PNM, that is the people square. You can't lock no square. You understand? So them doing it's not a kind, it's a dictatorship we deal with. Right? Every day it's going from bad to worse. So the people have to decide to come out and to get rid of this dictatorship. Otherwise, come on radio on morning and talk every morning and things will go on. There ain't nothing to them. So the people need to make up their mind and come out strong. That's all for today. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Next caller, morning.
Thank you, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. Malabar here.
Malabar, go ahead, Malabar.
Yes, Malabar, go ahead.
Gentlemen, I don't like to waste too much words, valuable words, and trying to talk about Roger Alexander, because everybody knows Roger Alexander suffering from some kind of intellectual constipation or something. He's a disgrace, a total disgrace to the police service, total disgrace. And what took place last week then, where this man came on the station, I mean, something is wrong with this country, and we have to face the fact, that under the PNM, the police service somehow represents and show the color as some pressure group for the PNM, right? And we have to stand up in this country as citizens and know our rights and demonstrate and continually demonstrate against this kind of attitude that we always have to face from the police service every time the PNM is in power. When will Roger Alexander and them come outside? When will he champion the cause of the police officers and them who haven't gotten a raise of salary for a long time, who working on a depreciated salary? When will he stand up for them? When will he call on police officers to take a stand in defense of the exploitation that is taking place in this country against workers and all? When will he do that? We need police officers who will come out and march as well. We need police officers who will come out and take a stand against this government. We don't need a police service who will continue to be strong armed for the PNM. That's what we don't want in this country. Otherwise, the PNM will continue to run amok in this nation. I'm listening to these officers and them, these ministers, sorry, and it's a total disgrace for ministers in this country. When we had the former Attorney General, who is no longer the Attorney General for good reason, coming and talking about bringing back litter wardens. It's all they will move litter wardens, and there's hundreds all they fire. And now election bell is being rung. It's wrong the corner. You're coming back with litter wardens. All right, come back with the litter wardens. We welcome the litter wardens. But here we are calling on Trinidad, everything that this government bring now, as election is around the corner, we accept it and reject them at the polls, because the wickedness that they have been doing to this country over the last 7 years cannot be tolerated anymore. And we know your plans, Dr. Rowley. We know your plans, PNM. You haven't changed. You're like leopard. You can't change your spot. Canadians don't understand how the PNM operate by now. We will never understand. every time they will come and pay, they're throwing some kind of goodies. People of this country take, but when you go there, vote unanimously against the PNM and ensure that the UNC come back into office. Remove people like Scotland, remove people like Foster Cummins, remove people like Shamfa, remove people like Brian Manning. All of these elitist people who only understand how to live high, who only understand that the rich must get richer and the poor must get poorer. This is the kind of government we want out from once and for all. Have a good day, blessings of you.
Yes, thank you. Well said. Well said.
So true.
Andy,
one
in the midst of
hold there. Let me just take this one more. Morning, caller.
Wait, caller.
Thanks.
The Kamala women's they decide to come out and they are here to see showgoers. They come out in black. They paint the tongue black. They come out. Kamala was nowhere wrong. The women's decide to bring out the people. And they say to see showgoers. People come out on the street all black. And this you calling for Kamala to come out. Here's my boy. You're wrong. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Next caller, morning caller. Where you calling from and what's your contribution on the Ground Report this morning?
Morning, Michael. Morning, Andy. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, we have been going through this. This government here right now is in power for 2 terms. This sense of representation, we see it is not working. We have to know that at the end of the day, Kamala really have to come out and make a stand. Please, I'll tell you something. You see, we're saying that she must come out front and we don't want her to get locked up and all this kind of thing. She is the opposition leader. She been paid money just like Rowley as the opposition leader. You understand? And one thing I want to say to you, Andy, make a statement early on, right? You gotta be careful because remember, all your station could be liable for certain statement make. Who husband and who wife is who husband and who wife. Okay, I want to call no name. You're going to recall the statement you make just now.
Oh, no. All right, I'm glad you said that. Again, it's just normal humor based on Popeye, the movie. What you name? Roger Alexander is look like Bruto from Popeye. So I just trying to tell him, you know, instead serve the poor people, stand up for your police officers and things. Because one day somebody will eat spinach and beat up Bruto. I can't guess over that.
It was all based in humor again.
Yeah, just in humor.
He has retracted that if it is that it was proceeding.
Not wife, but Marlon Hawkinson and Bronny and Bruto is husband and wife. Roger Alexander. Roger is a man. He a married man. This next man, he a woman too. Them is not husband and wife. I mean, when I say husband and wife, you know, they're always together now. 6 o'clock. They're like husband and wife, they just always together. That's what I mean.
Remember they want to get your truth. Remember they want to come at you. Remember they want to come at this station.
All right, we understand. Yes.
This is construct.
Yes. So only I restrain. Well, Mikey, could you help me with that word?
Retract that.
Yeah.
Definitely retract that.
Right, but could you help me with that word, Mikey K, or yourselves? Wait, because it must be retracted and we must go good. Give me a word, because that word I used it, just hold on, I used it based on they always together. And you know, marriage is 2 people always together. So I say husband and wife. Yeah, so give my next word to move that they're always together.
Andy, when you're making this statement, you must put the explanation behind it so you know what you're referring to. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because remember, you're dealing with some illiterate people too, you know.
Yes.
You understand? You're dealing with people to get at your truth. And he's a powerful man, he's a powerful programmer.
I think basically what Andy was saying, as far as marriage, it's a union of propaganda.
Yeah.
It's a special union,
right?
United in propaganda. Bottom line.
Mike, all I'm saying, when you're stating it, put the narrative behind it too.
Yeah, I agree. Here, why I'm going to agree with you? Because I don't want, we on the Ground Report, we on 104, we don't want there a policing going on here on this program.
Right. So I want to bring back my point now. You see, at the end of the day, Kamala is a lawyer. Kamala is supposed to know what we call a peaceful walk. A peaceful walk. You don't want to go and get authorization. to get the people to come out and walk peacefully. You understand? And you can call the people, let's go in Port of Spain, and I will keep saying, we have to go in Port of Spain and we have to shut down Port of Spain. You cannot tell me to come in Port of Spain and we only can march for 2 hours. That was so disrespectful. And the next thing I find people should have clicked against is that mayor to move because you locking up this place, you call it Woodford Square?
Square, yeah.
You understand? Who is you to lock up Woodford Square? Who is you to do that? You cannot lock up Woodford Square. That is square for the public. That is public domain. You understand? So it have another issue. I'm going to come about before now. But the thing I talking about is where the other callers calling in and saying, Kamala, you see, the diplomacy, we see PNM in power second term. The diplomacy is not working. Violent, we don't want no violence, like when Mikey Curtis said. We don't want no violence. You understand? But we have to get the people on the street in their numbers, and at the end of the day, it must be what they call a peaceful march or a peaceful walk.
All right, so to make a long story short, you are saying that Kamala Prasad needs as a leader to call out the people.
Yes, but listen, when you're telling people something, you have to understand what you're telling them, you know. You understand? You can't just say people only come out and next thing they're like, yeah, let's check in, you know.
Definitely.
And then let them know, listen, we are against what's going on. Let's show our presence in the city and let's stay in the city as long as we could get some kind of referendum or some kind of something in order to have this government out of flicking power.
But the bottom line is,
that's all I'm saying.
Understood. Thanks a lot, caller.
Understood. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mikey.
This issue here, and I get to a lot of the business places out there, we understand that things are hard, but at the same time, you have to have some integrity on as far as your services. Young couple, Trinidadian male, married to a Venezuelan woman. They had a tour that was set up, Andy, to go to Cancun.
Yes, I heard about that. Yeah. Go ahead. Let them know.
Unfortunately, they were not able to go because it was then later said that the Venezuelan, the lady, needs a visa to go into Mexico. Now, bear in mind, this was implemented in January of this year. Early part of this year, January 2022. This booking, of course, took place in June, 6 months after it was implemented. So there's only fear that if you're purchasing, and I must mention it's an all-inclusive package. If it is an all-inclusive package that you're purchasing, well, it is known to the customer that all the logistics are going to be worked out. All the particulars as far as airfare, hotel accommodation, ground transportation, shuttle service, all of these things, logistics, will be worked out by the tour operator. The onus is not on the customer. So to come now and say that there could be no refund because they were blocked from going because of the fact that that criteria wasn't met is the responsibility of the tour operator. So this morning we're asking Crystal Tours and the owner, Mr. Buru Singh, please clear the air on this matter. We're bringing it forward. If we have to highlight it, we'll continue to highlight it. But please, this is a very serious issue. $16,000 is nothing to sneeze at. These people may want to go and purchase several coal pots, and they made up their mind they're going to tighten their belt. But the money is an issue, and what next is expected by to be done. This is what they want to know. So please, Mr. Buru Singh and Crystal Tours, if you could please address this issue, we'd really appreciate that. We're just simply highlighting, bringing it out, because in all fairness, the onus and responsibility falls on the tour operator to get the criteria, know the criteria, make sure that everything is put in place, deal with the logistics down to the most common, as possible, and say, listen, you're ready to go. We've covered all the tracks. We've dotted the I's, crossed the T's, and there should be no problem. But now, as far as the money goes, there seems to be an issue. So please, we know that things are difficult. We know it's hard, but still, there needs to be some integrity in business.
So where's the name of that business? Where's the name of that business?
Crystal Tours.
Crystal Tours.
Issue. So again,
and the owner of that business is what? Where's the owner of the business name?
Mr. Buru Singh.
So Mr. Buru Singh, clear that, because again, I will expect if I purchase something and everything is in your hands or your business hands and it end up coming true, or you all didn't do what you all supposed to do, and I ain't get to go, well, they give me back my money. What?
That's because remember, you
must give me back my money
with the whole logistics. You were supposed to deal with that.
Exactly.
Everything, ground transportation, shuttle. If there's specials there, premium drinks, normal drink, whatever the case may be, the customer was not to be burdened with that. When you come to pick up your itinerary, they will go over the itinerary with you. This is what you'll need. This is the shuttle service will pick you up right here. All of these things. So it makes it very much stress-free for the customer. But
what the hell is this?
A lot of stress.
So Buru Singh and Tropicals just wanted Crystal wait name?
Crystal Tours.
Crystal Tours. Yes, Crystal Tours and Buru Singh.
Please.
So all they want to deliver.
Issue.
And all they want to give me back my money. Nah, that is not a good thing. We're not saying that, but all you need to fix that.
You gotta fix that.
Yeah, all you have to fix that.
Once it's rectified, we will definitely give an update here on the ground report and letting people know, listen, this is how it's worked out. If not, well, I guess there are options and there's always legal options.
Don't let $16,000 mash up Crystal Tours.
Yeah. Don't let bad reference and bad
reference and
be an issue. Just deal with
it. Because if you want to make sure I have ground transportation, you have to organize and pay for the ticket. You are organized to book the hotel. You are organized that the visas, everything in order. Yeah. You are organized everything, and I give you my money for my service. And somehow a policy change where I pay my money 6 months in advance, and after that the policy come and change 6 months after. That is no fault of mine. You can't keep my money. Where the money gone? Boy, just give me back my damn money, Buru Singh and Crystal Tours.
At the end of the day, let's rectify this situation.
Yes.
So, folks, if you have problems out there, we know times are tough, and you just can't part with your hard-earned money just like that. You can always hit us up here on the ground report, and definitely we ask that this be rectified so folks can move on, keep their good name, and don't let trying to have a getaway or vacation turn into a nightmare, please.
Nice. Oh boy.
Robert Amar and Ruby Gem are up next with Sense and Sensibility, take you through the mid-morning session. And we have a lot going on as well. Don't forget, tomorrow night, back on Gael, yours truly, Mikey K, The Observer, and of course tonight, our very own Lennox Smith, 7:30 on Corridor Transformation on Facebook. Well, I guess, Andy, this brings us to the end of today's program.
Everything is in order?
Yeah, Robert is ready, and he should be ready to go. He's get up and ready to go.
Nice. Oh boy, it's 1 minute to the hour of, yes, 1 minute to the hour of 9 o'clock. So we're going to just take one quick call before we go. Morning caller.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. You have about 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I cannot speak to you on the radio.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Well,
this is Ann.
This who?
You will call back after the program.
All right, call me at 366-3053.
366-3053.
Yeah, as the program finishing now. So 366-3053. You call me and get through to me.
All right, and don't forget the account number 230045. 230045. It's 3 zeros in there. 230045. Nothing wrong with the account. They have been charging Andy and myself every time we just even walk in and show our face. And I know people are snickering behind the counter, and I know there's PNM people that work in there.
Mikey, you know, remember you talk about disrespect this morning. I find it's a disrespect that some people wouldn't organize that just put only $5. The government taking away billions of dollars from them, Mikey. Billions, they're just throwing away. They're doing what they want with the people money. But to just give or put in an account at First Citizens Bank $23,045. $5. Not even that. That is a disrespect. And who vex? I talk my mind. I like to talk my mind. Yeah. Because the government disrespecting you. Doing what they want with your money. And then turning it around. They're driving Parado. They have perks. They're buying Kangen, all kind of $1 million off. The Pitbull Radio, Mikey KW. We ain't getting none of them necessities from y'all. We ain't going through none of them things. We devoted, we working on behalf of y'all, and y'all wouldn't self give a tip. Oh God! When you go to a restaurant, you're getting good service. You just tip people. You go to the grocery, the people tote your bag. They tote your grocery, you tip them. You go in the restaurant, the host in the restaurant, the waitress bring the food. You like how she smile and how the work she's doing on behalf of you, making you comfortable. You just give them a tip. But when you come to the ground report with all the hard work, all the service, all they don't want to give a damn tip. I had to talk my mind this morning. After God family comes first.
Yes.
Yeah.
No tips.
Nothing, no tips at all.
I love the program. I find this one is calling and talk too long. I find Kamala thing. I ain't hearing Teddy. We're already going with Brother Cardi, already did. A lot of tips, but none of them being financial. None of them. I feel them people in the bank, MPNN people will be calling Balizé. They now leave. If you see them, the pit bull walk out like a puppy. When we tell them they had to pay for just asking. Oh God. Mikey K look like he wanted to cuss. And they're laughing at me, they're laughing. Balizé house they call him. You could tell. You see me walking out the door, everybody watching, down to the guard and all shaking the head like.
Yeah, boy. It is. I just feel bad. I just feel real bad.
Must feel bad.
Because you see them shushing the ground report program.
Yeah, watch it.
Look. Them people, the people that they with, doing self-support. They watch. They walk with nothing.
Watch that. Look. The account empty. Look, the account pushing back. You see the account pushing back. You have a pushback account and it pushing back. And they're laughing at you. Folks, until tomorrow we're out of here. Take care.
With Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Disclaimer. More FM Limited, its owners and associates, accepts no responsibility for statements made by the talk show hosts or their guests. More FM Limited does not endorse any of the information provided during this commercially booked segment